Hey everyone. Bro Plata. Yay! Bro. Is this the energy you want from me, Tim Danko, when we do and without music I can just or without singing anything, I can just be like, yay! Is
No.
that what you're looking for?
I need you to tone it down like 14 notches.
Okay, hold on. Let me this is an internal thing that I have to kind of think about. Yeah. Is that enough?
About to give up on you already.
It's Bro Plata. We are live on YouTube, Facebook Live as well, and we are on Tim's favorite website on the planet Earth, Twitch. You can follow us on our Twitch stream.
Cancel Twitch.
Leave comments. Comments are live right now for you people interested in what we have to say.
What do you mean, you people?
I mean the listeners of this podcast, sir.
Right.
The people who on a daily basis scroll by our videos on their Facebook feed and go, maybe I'll watch it. That's the people that we are hoping to get. Those people make the world go round, my friend. Make the world go round. It's an interesting place that we are with Bro Plata. We are at episode number 40. Yay!
We're men. We're at 40.
10 more and we will make decisions. People watching.
Oh, dude, Ray, why didn't you name that episode like We're Man, We're 40? Do you not understand that? Do you not get that reference?
No.
You don't remember the Mike Gundy over 10 years ago, man?
I'm a man.
I'm 40. Yeah.
Damn it, you are right.
John Anik, all the time when someone's 40, he always makes the same joke. He's like, this guy, he's a man, he's 40. All right, John Anik, we kind of get it. We keep switching us. No,
this is because it's Tim Danko.
I don't care.
And then it's Ray Highclass.
Aren't there names on the thing anyway? Or
they are. I just I'd have to turn these off.
See, there you go. I don't care if you keep them on or not. I'm just saying. Now what's happening is I'm leaning because everything's different. It's fine.
It's okay.
Oh, what happened? Your microphone fell off that perfect mic stand. Ray, if you have seen the show, you see Ray's microphone fall off his stand all the time because he has a garbage mic stand. Not only does he have a garbage mic stand, he gave me the referral. He told me to buy it, man. He's like, it's only $17 in his crate. Not until after I got it did I realize that like for $4 more I could probably get one that would work. I mean, the thing is, I don't have much problems with it because I don't touch it. As long as I don't touch it, it's okay. But I do touch down here because I still haven't figured out a good spot to put this. You know, I keep messing with it. Maybe I should go lower. Should I try this? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I like that. It's a good look for you.
Okay.
Well, you know what? I can go without seeing your fat mouth speaking. So that's always
that makes sense. That makes sense. You're not allowed to call my mouth fat. Only I am. But I keep trying to mess with this thing. I haven't decided where I like it yet. I guess I like it higher. Usually is where I put it, but I don't know. We'll try this for a minute. Basically, it just depends on. I have to get this thing to bend around my drink cup.
Yes,
so the drink cup's right here, and this thing bends right around it. So I don't have a very big table. I'm at a TV tray here.
I did, by the way, I wanted to say on the podcast, thank you for having me over for the fights this past weekend. That was a fun time that I had with you, brother. Drinking vodka, and just shit talking mixed martial arts. It's the best time, and I like doing it with you. I enjoyed just hanging out with you, and actually, because I think that's the first time we've ever hung out outside of a comedy club or a comedy show. I think that's the first time we've ever done that.
Yeah, unless you like count the bars afterwards, but yeah, probably true. Yeah.
So that was a fun time, man. I'm glad we got to do that. And hopefully we can do more of those, by the way.
For sure, man. It's fun. And Ray kept wanting to live stream it, and I didn't feel like it. However, maybe next time we'll do it because we did have some funny conversations during it.
Yes. I mean,
we just record it and then we go through it later and just have some clips or something. You know,
I like it. Make it a watch along.
Right. Something. I don't know. Something. Maybe. I didn't realize this. I didn't know this, Ray, but I didn't know you had gross feet. Ray has gross feet.
Terrible.
House. right away. His first thing he does is take his gross feet and put them on my mom's coffee table. Boom, right away, which is super rude, by the way. Super rude. Without even asking, you're just like, it's cool to do this, right? Boom, and you have like your nails that need cut. There's weird dirt in them, and they have they're all beat up from hockey and whatnot, and whatever you do with them. And I'm like, come on, brother, you wear socks, and you're like, I don't believe in socks. I'm like, come on, man. I was wearing socks the whole time. All right, for you. I'm not wearing them now because there's no company. But when company's over, I wear socks. I'm not a fucking monster. You're over there, you with your gross fucking ice hockey feet on my mom's table.
I don't know. I'm just white trash, so I just make myself at home. I think I'm part gypsy because I make myself at home anywhere I'm at.
You did do it pretty quick, man. And I had to clean up your mess and shit the next day. Well, it was just cans. I had to clean up your cans.
Yeah, I was about to say I threw it. I think I brought my plate in. I threw that away at least. That wasn't a total savage.
And to be fair, all your Mountain Dew cans were in a pile. They were in like the same spot.
I believe in that. That's something I believe in life.
So I just had to bring the recycling tray in and just do one of these arm swoops. The cat move. It was good. All right, I'm not complaining. We're good. We're fine. You're a lot better. I'm pretty sure.
Yay! We are. If you're just joining us, we are talking UFC 255 and the party me and Tim Danko had at his mom's. It was more of a subdued gathering. There was only 2 people, so nobody freak out. No masks were needed. No masks were needed here. So guess what? It was still a fun party. And we watched some really good fights. We just lost 2 listeners because I brought masks up like that. That was an awesome time. But yeah, man, I wanted to show you this video because I watched I subscribe to Compound Media. We both know Dave Landau is on that network as well. Don Jameson's on there. Chris, I'm a big fan of Chrissy Mayer. She's on there. She's a redheaded comedian from New York.
Don't know her.
She has the Chrissy Mayer podcast and also the Wet Spot on Compound Media. Subscribe to Compound Media.
It's a fun name.
It is. It's a great podcast. It's a no fucks given ginger style talk. It was fantastic. She actually has like blonde hair apparently, but she dyes it red, which is funny. Like Irish red.
Is it to match her personality? She's like, I'm too crazy for a blonde. I gotta just make this red so it makes sense.
Oh, she is a fucking stone cold human being, and I love her for it. Like I love Chrissy on that. But yeah, I was watching the Anthony Cumia show today. And I saw a video, and this kind of goes with something that we talked about a while ago on the podcast, which was excessive force in Australia with the combat wombat going to jail for hurting a guy.
Right.
So they showed this. What?
I was just going to say quickly, the combat wombat is a guy. Was it Ben Sosoli, right? He got
yeah.
Sosoli, he was a UFC fighter who recently got released, and he got sentenced to like 2 years in jail in Australia for punching a guy at a bar he was bouncing at.
Yes. And yeah, I'm of the thought process that, and also the guy was asked to leave a bunch of times, started getting shitty. And
yeah, so we talked about it, man. I still think the guy did too much. I mean, look, if you're a martial artist, there's so much you can do. Just subdue a guy. There's so much, man. Dude, if a guy gets to your feet, you still can't punch somebody, man. You're a professional fighter. You can't punch a guy, even if he spits on you, man.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Well, spitting is assault.
Well,
I don't know about Australia.
I mean, that's
spitting count as assault. I believe it does. Here,
I know in the U.S. it constitutes assault.
I don't know. Also, I don't think he would have gotten 2 years in America for that. I don't think so. He may have gotten in trouble, but I don't think he would have gotten 2 years for it. He
would have gotten a medal from the judge, probably, like handing it to him.
Well, it depends where he is. Is he in Texas? If he's in Texas, fuck yeah. Ray, we need to move to Texas, man.
I want to. There's a thing in Washington that I really like, and I don't know if it's a law that they have that cops can like referee.
Oh yeah,
fights in the streets.
Mutual combat law.
Yeah.
Well, I told you my brother's lady and her brother, who both live down here now by me. I've asked them about that recently, and they're like, "No, that I've never heard of that." So I don't know.
I heard it on Rogan. That's
so did I, and I looked it up, but according to them, they didn't have anything. They didn't know anything about it, so it may just not be a well-known thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's maybe
interesting
not. Interesting though, right? If you want to step outside, right, and a cop sees you fight, hey, you guys both in on this? Yes, sir. Okay, go ahead.
I'll pull one of you. I'll pull the person off like Big John McCarthy after it's all over.
Right. Be our Herb Dean, please, sir.
Just do the Herb Dean step in with his calf muscle and just boom. But like, so this video is, I love this video. It is a guy, a security guy, this teenager. Yeah, I think he was like 16 or 17, whatever the age, like gambling age, and they're at a hotel, a resort in Australia. And this is I like to call this segment Hotel Motel Ow My Face. And I will show you why it's called that when I play you this video, and I want to get your reaction off of it because it's quite graphic. I'm going to say
I have not seen this. I'm actually excited because this is something I have not seen.
Yeah, and for the people that are listening at home or watching this, we are doing this on the video podcast as well. We're doing this on the video version, so go to facebook.com/Bro Plata, and then search us also on YouTube, and I believe stuff stays up on Twitch still at the moment. I haven't checked our Twitch feed, but I believe we actually have that as well. But what I love about this video is this is exactly how you treat a dickhead in any scenario in public if they're just being an asshole. He was asked to leave, told them to go fuck themselves, and this is what happens. It's getting choked out. Boom!
Whoa.
Let's rewatch. And then he's
look at this. He's a ragdoll, man.
I love it's like an old West saloon. Here it goes again. Boom! Face into the cut.
Oh,
homeboy is
wait.
out.
Was he out before he threw him?
Yeah, he was gone. Before
but that's not how you do things, man. Have you not seen the John Jones Lyoto Machida fight? At worst, the worst possible thing you should be able to do is just drop the guy. Right? I mean, he put force into the guy when he was already out. That's excessive force, man. I'm sure that guy's gonna get. I mean, I don't know the story, but if the Combat Wombat got 2 years for punching or do, what is that guy gonna get?
Yeah, I don't know. And
also, we only saw a little clip. We didn't see what happened beforehand. Kind of like with the Combat Wombat situation, we didn't know context of the whole story. We heard some things, we read some things, but even this, all I see is that little clip. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you want my reaction to be? Just what I think in general. You got that pwned. That's the first thing you see is, oh, that guy got choked out and thrown. That's kind of messed up. But then you think, I'm like, dude, what was that guy doing? And why was that necessary, man? He was at a department store. Did he have a weapon?
No. That was actually what it was. Because I think I said this. It was that's why I call a hotel motel out my face, is because he was what they can do. I think bars and like hotels in Australia and a few other countries actually are like OTBs almost. Like they have off-track betting, they've got sports betting, like those Australia sounds fucking great, right? Like low COVID numbers, it's great out there. Shit's good.
They got sun. As long as you don't go to the middle, stay on the outside, you're good. Go to the middle of that country, you're gonna get eaten by a monster.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about like this is at a hotel. I believe it's called, and I'll look it up here because I actually had to like do a full Google search on this. It is the Dorset Gardens Hotel. Okay. And the guy was drunk and just being a dick. And the video you only see that's played because I've seen a few Melbourne. Yeah, I think it's out of like where's that? Croydon. For anybody listening in Australia, leave a comment on how you pronounce that city. I probably got it right. Croydon. It's
probably wrong, right? I mean, if you pronounced Melbourne, if you said Melbourne right now, I'm like, you're pronouncing that wrong, even though that's how they say it, right?
Yeah.
You know, we say Melbourne, right? But if you said it that way, I'm like, you're pronouncing that wrong. Read it. read it, say it how it sounds, how it looks, right? But they pronounce it differently. So who knows?
Yeah, but I read the story. Guy was just being a total dickhead. So the security guard decided to do a little street justice, and woohoo! That was I saw that today on Compound Media or on the Anthony Cumia show, and I had to share that with the people watching right now.
This just happened.
I think it was the 5th, or I think the incident happened in like the 15th. So it's been like 10 days.
Okay, so recent, but excuse me, no one's wearing a mask. What's going on, Australia?
Well, they have low numbers, but they also have low population.
They also almost killed Tom Hanks, bro. Come on.
Yeah.
But Tom Hanks got his.
Yeah. And also the years of Aboriginal abuse. That's always, you can always throw that in and just be like, those people got fucked.
You give that shit here too. I mean,
well, yeah,
obviously.
But think about this. That place is also a prison colony. You know, like that's
true. At a time, it was a nice prison, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the entire country.
Right.
It's hilarious to me that these people. That's why I like Australian people, and I want to have guys like Mark Hunt on and a few other people. See if we can get Ben Sossley. Let's see if we can get Ben Sossley from prison. Like, let's see if we can do it.
I'd pay for that, man. Whatever it costs. Let's do it. That'd be hilarious.
Have him talk about that video and his incident and be like, yeah, it was the same thing. It's the same thing every time. How did that happen?
Also, I would love to have like one of our podcasts on like Australian police record. I'm assuming that's the same rule there. I'm just guessing.
I think $1,000 somewhere to the right people.
A fun law in Australia. When I talked to people in Australia back when I was doing internet karaoke and I had Australian friends, don't ask questions. Anyway,
internet karaoke.
Yeah, I was in a group and a bunch of people there were Australians. I talked all the time. I don't know why I kind of stopped and kind of lost interest in it, but those people were really nice. Anyway, they told me that if you get fined if you don't vote. Which I know, I mean, it's America, right? Our kind of thing is, you get freedom of choice. I understand that. But I wouldn't be too bummed out if they threw that in here.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
But it's definitely not really our thing to say you have to do this. Unless it's COVID related, then it is our thing to say you have to do this.
Well, yeah.
Which I still understand. It's fine. We're at curfew right now. Dude, Thanksgiving's going to suck for people, isn't it?
Thanks. Luckily this year, like with me, I've kind of just given up on the idea of Thanksgiving because of COVID, right. I've resigned myself to just be like, I'll eat turkey my mom made, eat the skin like a creep. Cause that's what I do. I like to actually eat the brown skin, like off of chickens and stuff like that.
That's okay. That's not too weird.
Oh, it's so tasty. Just like plop it in my mouth.
You tell me you're the guy who likes cranberry sauce. That's different. My mom's that person. She's the only person I know who eats it.
I like canned cranberry sauce.
Yeah, that's what she gets.
Yeah.
She's the only one. She probably bought it this year for herself because she's the only one that eats it.
Yeah, my family is a definite cranberry sauce kind of like family. We're part British, so we are already predisposed to like bland, tasteless things, and cranberry sauce is basically just like a sour, bland. If you buy it in the can, like cylinder, that's all it is. It's got no value, but it's there. Real no value. Oh God.
Have you ever found yourself? Man, this is going to sound weird. No, you know what? No, I'm saying yeah.
No.
Have you ever found? No, you don't know what I'm going to say. Have you ever?
Well, no, I was going to say you're trying to stop yourself. I'm like, no, tell me.
Okay. Have you ever had yourself a Thanksgiving plate from a black family? Because they'll tell you, and like we talk to any of our black comic friends, they'll tell you they do Thanksgiving differently, man. There's stuff that mac and cheese is a big thing, which is weird because I've never had mac and cheese.
Why is that a weird thing
for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, that's not a weird thing to have on Thanksgiving.
Man, for me, it always is.
Really?
And also, I hear that white people can't make turkey, which is very possible. I don't know.
No, that's very true. No, that's a very true statement.
Dry, yeah. Well, all our stuff's dry, and we don't season our food. That's very. You know what? You know who makes the best potato salad? my mother. My mother is my grandmother's recipe, and she makes great potato salad. Everybody loves my mother's potato salad. Her boyfriend, who is just, for the sake of argument, is black. He won't eat it.
Good.
And I'm like, because you don't. I'm like, because you don't season it. And she's like, I don't think he likes potato salad anyway. I'm like, no, I don't know. It's because yours is probably pretty bland. I always say when someone's like, oh, you have good potato salad, I always say, yeah, she makes pretty decent potato salad for a white person. Oh, and what did she say when you met her the other day? Not to talk about her on the podcast. That's what I'm doing. Well, I'm talking about
we're
potato
not
salad.
giving any gory details.
No, just saying her potato salad is great, and her boyfriend's a great dude. I love that dude. You've been together for a long time. That guy's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's a perfect thing to say. I like your mom. She's fun. She's actually a nice lady. I liked it. I liked hanging out with her and like talking to her. She was cool.
She is. If she didn't have to work the next day, she probably would have watched the fights with us.
That would have been fun. That would have been fun. But no, man, like here's the thing, like
and if Cody was fighting, she definitely would have, because she's watched the last Cody fight. She usually does.
I honestly, when it comes to like, I think that white people need to be put into two categories when it comes to like love of foods. Like I fall into the spicy and above category. That's where I'm at. I don't like bland. I'm not a big fan of it. I need flavor to my shit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the thing was spicy for me. A lot of times, if it's too spicy, that's all I taste, so I don't taste anything else. So I think it just takes away. I mean, a little bit, man. That's what I kind of miss about Tex-Mex, man, because you didn't have to ask for it. It was always going to be a little bit spicy, right? Here, and it makes sense because the people are whiter here in Ohio, up
very
north
bland.
In the Midwest. So if they don't tell you it's spicy, it's not going to be spicy at all.
Yeah.
Like, and my brother has asked for stuff extra spicy. Mm-hmm. Right? And last time we were at a place, it was on my birthday. We went, and he's like, hey, last time I told him extra spicy, and it still wasn't spicy enough. And he goes, okay. And I say, I'm like, dude, make it how you make it for yourself. And then he said it was pretty spicy. He got what he wanted. So
nice. Yeah, I actually had
but they had to really say it like 3 or 4 times, like, hey, really, really spicy. No, really, really spicy. But it was funny because when I was in Texas, everything was a little bit spicy, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And if they said it was spicy, it was really spicy.
Yes. That's the kind of shit I like. Like I can
like
go
a little bit, but I don't like too much.
I can go for a little bit of shit. Like I'll throw, like I won't throw like cayenne or anything crazy unless it's like something baked in. That way you can really taste the food. Is so just like, I love food. Food is amazing.
Yeah, look at this. You think I don't love food? My favorite. The reason I began
weight out my quarantine right here.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to do mine because mine are gross. But like, no, I'm sorry, they're immaculate, but it's weird for a dude. Anyway, so. The reason I've gained so much weight in quarantine is because my best part of my day is what I'm going to eat today. And that's a bummer because it's like, especially when I don't have food at the house, I go get so much fast food and I'm kind of getting sick of it, which is good because I'm kind of tired of it. Although yesterday I did get Wendy's because that pretzel bacon pub cheeseburger, dude, have you had that thing?
No, I didn't even know that was an option.
Dude, it's awesome. It's fantastic. You know what?
Try that out.
Wendy's has the best fast food burgers, at least the ones I can get around me. I thought it was Hardee's for a while, but I started having Wendy's again, and I'm like, no, Wendy's is much better. It's that non-frozen beef, bro.
I actually had a burger for lunch today with my friend Shauna. We went out after I helped her put together some stuff in her new place, which I might be moving my little studio to, which will be fun. But it was I asked for banana peppers because I always get banana peppers if a place has it on cheeseburgers. I think they're perfect cheeseburger / pizza food is banana peppers, like the banana rings, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, I asked you what kind of pizza you wanted Saturday, and you told me pepperoni sausage. You like banana peppers. I'm like, I'm like, slow down. I'm like, you get 2. All right, I'll get you 2 toppings. All right, I only got myself 1.
But I just was throwing out shit to put on it.
I wasn't most of that pizza, and it's very good. It's
trying to like.
Shout out to Your Pizza. That's the first time Ray had it. You enjoyed it?
Awesome, really good pizza.
Stuff.
It was.
It's good stuff.
Like what they did with
it's thicker. It's a little bit. It's closer to kind of like a deep, not real deep dish, but it's a little thicker. But I like it. It's good, and what I really like about that is they don't overcook it. I don't like anything really crispy or overcooked really.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like the way they cook theirs, just a little soft, and that's kind of how I like pizza.
Me too. I like a good doughy pizza. Like there's
Right,
one place.
There's
in the Strip District of Pittsburgh that oh god it's not Zambelli because that's the firework company. Fuck, I can't remember the name of it. Somebody leave a comment. But it's just so good, and the portions are insane. Like I remember what
I said, yeah,
huge.
it's question.
Like
right.
their extra large covers a table. It covers a table.
There you go.
The entire extra large. Like it's insane. It's like almost remember that in the Flintstones how they would have the ribs and like they would tip over the car.
Mm-hmm.
That's how big this fucking pizza is, dude. It's Bellinode. Yeah, the Bellinode is the place. So good. So tasty.
Man, you know, I asked you before you came over if there's anywhere up by you very northeast Ohio area that has really good New York style pizza. Because dude, it's weird that I can't find any that really the best New York style pizza I've ever had, because I've been in New York, but I haven't had pizza there. I've had one time I was there with our buddy Sean Lynch, who we had on recently, and we ordered pizza, and I'm like, oh man, that's cool, because I didn't want to be like the touristy guy who's going to ask for real New York pizza, but it's cool, we're getting some, and he's like, oh no, we're getting Domino's. I'm like, oh, all right, Domino's is good too, whatever. It was fine. I like Domino's, but I would have outed myself and wanted some touristy pizza, but this place where my family lives, that small town in Pennsylvania called Tunkhannock, there's this place called Pompeii's, and it's still the best pizza I've ever had.
Really?
And every time I go there, it's like not a question. We have to get that pizza. Also, they have amazing stromboli. The stromboli may be better than the pizza, but it's both pretty awesome.
Sorry, I was pulling this up. That's our card that we're going to talk about.
No, that's good. But I was going to say that when I've only ever been to Chicago once, and it was when I was a junior in high school for choir. And we went to a place, and I wish I knew what it was called because I would love to go back there someday. It was Chicago style pizza, but it was so thick. The sauce was on top. It was like eating cake. It was so thick.
Really
great though. Yeah, I really wish I would remember what it was called because I'd like to go back, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've never.
I thought it was awesome, but it didn't. It was like it was so thick. It didn't even seem like pizza. You had to eat it with a fork.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like about Chicago pizza. Like, is the fact that like people have to use utensils out of what is basically just like a casserole dish. Like that to me is a weird thing.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the reasons.
Your pizza's basically cake at that point. Like,
it's kind of, well, it was. It was like eating a big cake of pizza cake. Yeah, it was great. Like I said, the sauce was on top. It was really good. I really wish I remember what it was called. But yeah, I mean, one of the reasons pizza was invented that way was for what's the word I'm looking for? Not portability, but I mean, it's just easy to eat. What's the word I'm looking for? It doesn't matter.
Efficiency?
No, I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it means it's easy. Something that's easy. It's I don't know, man. I gotta take some of those brain pills, man.
Yeah, I've been missing those. I need to get a job so I can pay for them.
Yeah, I'll go Ginkgo biloba, whatever it's called. Biloba does work. I have some. I just haven't been taking it because it gives me headaches when I first start, but it does work. I have taken it in the past. All right. Anyway, we're done talking about pizza.
Yes, I like the idea of.
Oh gosh,
Convenience
was the word I was looking for. It's just convenient to have a piece of pizza and be able to eat it when you're moving. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you put all the stuff on it. Right, boom. Yeah. It's right there, dude.
Well, that was part of why, and probably stromboli too. I don't know. Man, stromboli. I like a good stromboli too. And that same place has amazing stromboli. You know why? Because they don't wimp on it, man. It's meaty and cheesy. It's not all bread. Awesome.
Oh,
Shout out to
there's
Pompeii, Tunkhannock, Pennsylvania.
uh,
Dude, every time I go there, I get pizza in Stromboli without fail.
where at?
That same place in Pennsylvania I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
We ever go to New York together, Ray? We go that way. We go through I go through my parents. We'll get some. All right. I'll prove it to you. It's good.
I like it.
I'm sure there's better New York style pizza like in New York, but I'm just saying I haven't had it. So that's the best I've had. And there's nothing even close to that around here. And that's like it's opposite of Chicago style. It's thin, right? It's like, it's thin. It's not real doughy. It's thin and cheese, but you make it right, it's so good.
My favorite place to go is this place called Mama Roberto's that's like near me. And it's just the portions. Like that's a good sign of a great Italian restaurant is like portions. If they're huge, you know you're in a good place. You know you're at the place you need to be, and you're good to go, man. Like it's so tasty.
If their portions are like a grandmother who's worried about you, who thinks you're not eating enough, that's the proportions at an Italian restaurant.
If you just got off of a boat from the Irish potato famine, this is the amount of food they will give you. Like it is just obscene. And it's a place called Mama Roberto's. It's so fucking tasty. It's an amazing Italian restaurant here in the Cleveland area, East Side. It's a little drive from downtown Cleveland, probably about half hour, but it's like close to where I live. It's like 15 minutes from where I live. It's a great place. It's funny. I ended up on a Rover's Morning Glory video where Mama Roberto's was on the table for WMJI, the oldie station here in town. And that was a weird day. That was definitely, I remember Mama Roberto's was there. It was a weird day. If you ever want, it's a League of Extraordinary Morons video. It's quite interesting. I might bring that on. It's because there's a few like Rover's Morning Glory videos I've actually been in. But let's talk about these fights, bro. Because like I said, was down with you, ordered pizza. We got vodka drunk. I passed out at your house.
I was getting bourbon drunk.
Yes, you were, and it was fun to watch. I liked it. But
drunk.
Man, yes, you drunk is fun. You're always fun when you drink when you're drunk.
I wasn't that drunk.
No, but you're fun when you drink, though. I know that's a weird thing to say.
I'm usually drinking. I'm drinking right now. Although I have just started.
So am I.
Yeah. Why not?
But let's talk about this first fight. It was kind of a mind-blowing, as you can see on the screen. It got fight of the night. Louis is it Cochet?
You know what? I just rewatched this yesterday and you know what? If you didn't say anything, I would have been able to get it. But now that you had a wrong one in my head, I think it's Koshi. It's Koshi. Koshi.
Okay.
Koshi. We'll say Koshi.
Louis Koshi. And the whitest Chinese man I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I never looked that up, man. I didn't see what his story is. But yeah, he's from Hong Kong, but he's very white and has an American accent. And he has a Russian name.
He looks like one of those guys, the time traveling immigrants from South Park, like just because of how bald and like sort of tan he is. Sasha Palikano. God damn it! I'm gonna have to look. Hold on.
It's
Sasha
Paletnikov.
That's it.
Yeah.
God damn it! Oh,
dude, if I get it before you, man, come on, man.
Yeah, I know. That means I need to eat some food after this.
Maybe.
Dude, this fight, I wrote in the description of this episode that it started off with a bang. The whole show started off with a bang, and these guys delivered epic fireworks.
He was born in Hong Kong.
Oh, born in Hong Kong?
Yeah. You know, he went to
play
college.
Ping pong. And here's my last question. Yeah. Did he get so good that he could play with his ding dong?
I'm trying to do a point thing. I was doing it every time Ray says something stupid when he was on my house. Very often, I would just point from the direction that he came. I can't really do it in this window. Not as well. I mean, I could try like this. I'll do like a. This is gonna up your worse more. No, he's born in Hong Kong, but he went to the University of Buffalo, which is very Chinese, and
Apparently.
yeah, Las Vegas. But he was living in Hong Kong until recently again. So I guess he was born there and grew up there, but he went back there. I don't know if he has family there. I don't know. I can't find like a Wikipedia. All I see is I found something on Tapology that said he was born in Hong Kong, which makes him Chinese.
He's a KGB incel.
Maybe. Well, I mean, I don't know. In case people are unaware, that's how you make someone, a white person, Chinese. You're just born in China, therefore you're a Chinese person.
Yes.
There you go. That's how that works. All right. If he wants to identify with himself as American, he can also do that, right? So
I feel like this guy's parents look like Boris and Natasha from or sound
Rocky
like Boris and Natasha from Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Very possibly. we are very proud. I can't try to do a bad Russian accent.
We are very proud of our son. He go to Buffalo University. I hear in America, that's where they killed you and use your pelt as a place to stay warm.
Because man, if you speak Cantonese or Mandarin, I don't know which one's more popular. I don't know which one like the government speaks there. I think it's Cantonese. Actually, I don't know. Is it Cantonese? Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Cantonese, yeah.
All right. Well, if you're an American who speaks that, man, you could probably almost always find a job, especially now, man, because I think our issues with China are only going to grow. So,
oh, yeah.
Let's learn Cantonese, right? Dude,
especially with Xi Jinping.
I don't think we'd
that
be
panda
able to
bear looking fuck.
I would like to think that if we tried, we'd be able to do it eventually. It would take a while, obviously. But, yeah, man, that's hard. Because, I mean, that's a whole new alphabet. And that's like, man, you have to like rethink your whole understanding of language.
Yeah,
very tough. But he was born there, so I'm sure he's fluent.
But I loved, by the way, his multicolored pink, and you can tell how much of a badass he is when you can rock pink and green, hyper-colored day glow ankle guards and just look like a savage, which he did. Like these two guys put on a war. This was their UFC debut too, and they got fight of the night each. So they get $50,000. Man, what'd you think of this fight?
Yeah, it's funny. We just talked about that Saturday when Andrew Law was on because we talked about guys who are having their first UFC fights who can have a great fight and get a bonus, and then how much that money means, right? Because they're getting like 10 and 10 probably, right? Mm-hmm. They're getting 50. That changes everything for them, right? So, yeah, it's a big deal. I'm happy they both got it. This fight was nuts because if you didn't see it, Kosi had this fight almost in the bag, man. He thought he was done for sure for about the whole first half of the first round. He thought he was done. Then out of nowhere, dude, Platonovich, I have to look at it again. Pletnikov, and I'm the one who gave it to you the first time. Pletnikov comes back, and dude, this guy's nuts, man. The fact that he didn't get finished is insane, but he comes back, and Kosi never in his career went past the first round, and he got gassed out. The second round, you noticed that he never did this before, right? We also talked with Andrew Saturday about the first time he went 15 pro minutes, right? He vomited right after, right? So this guy has, if you don't know until you do it, right? You can practice it as much as you want in the cage, but it's not the same, right? So the first time you do it, you're not going to know how your body reacts. This is the first time this guy had a 2-round fight ever, let alone going into the third round, which I'm pretty sure it did, right? Third round?
Yeah,
round 3.
It was
halfway through the third round, Sasha finished him eventually. But dude, this guy was out. Dude, he comes back, and these guys are both throwing bombs. And okay, watch it. It wasn't a pay-per-view fight. If you have ESPN Plus, you can watch it.
Yes.
So watch it. It's great. In one fight of the night, it was pretty damn good. There was only one other fight that was even close to it as far as fight of the night contenders, but it was very good.
It was like I was amazed at like you said, I was amazed by Platnikov's just straight up willingness to persevere the hellstorm that he had in that first round, because it was, and as you, to your point, man, to watch a guy gas out, and you've gassed out, and in your fight, we've talked about that. Mm-hmm. You had a little bit of a problem where you were like, oh, I can't do this. Well, luckily he was. When you watch a guy do that too, it's inspiring. It's inspiring to see a motherfucker just come back after because he got rocked in that first round. And fought for his life. Like I was amazed at just like the fact that he was able to get out of that first round. And it's an eerie feeling as a fan. I don't know if you feel this way, but it is an eerie feeling when you watch a fighter who you were like, oh, this is going to be over in the second round. Look what's going to happen. And all of a sudden that motherfucker slows down. You're like, whoever bet on Kosi, getting out of the first round, man. I would have loved to see the line on that.
Well, I think it said. I think.
No, I meant just like him getting it, like to get the parlay bet.
I mean, after like the live betting and after the first round.
Yeah,
that would have been interesting. I don't know. But Sasha here was the second biggest underdog on the card. He's the biggest underdog that won. I think he was plus 400 when the fight started. So. That's big. That's 4-1, right? That's big. Dude, it is pretty interesting. I mean, it's obvious that fight conditioning is a really special thing, right? You see guys that are we talked about with Andrew again. One of his guys at the smoker they had, which he mentioned the smoker, so I feel like I can now. The kid's in great shape. The kid is a beast, right? But he wasn't in fighting shape, and he almost got sick because he gassed out so quick. So. It's one of those things it has to be learned, and you can do as much cardio as you want, but I feel like until you go to a second or third round in a fight, especially a pro fight, especially a UFC fight, your body doesn't exactly know what it's getting into. And I think he'll be fine. I don't think he's going to always have a cardio issue. I'd be very surprised. I'd be surprised if he had the same cardio issue in his next fight because he knows now, right? This is the first time in 7 fights that Louis Cauchi has gone to a second round, let alone a third. So I highly doubt it's going to be a problem again. Maybe one more fight, but I highly doubt if he stays in the UFC for a while, you're not going to say, "Oh, this guy has a cardio problem," because you're not going to. Because most guys can fight 3-round fights, right? Almost everyone can in the UFC, but he's new, right? And he hasn't done it before, but he will. He'll be able to.
Yeah, I think his coaches will make the proper adjustments. They were really getting they got him into that first round where he was basically in control and making it look easy. So I think this was sort of because of the fact that this was the first fight he had. He probably had a lot of adrenaline, and that they constantly talk about it on commentary for new fighters who haven't been in the UFC under those lights on the pay-per-view or on the big pay-per-view card. Even though it's the prelims, you're still part of something huge, and you're making your UFC debut. I want to see because I don't know, like with baseball, I don't know if you guys have that. Where like you feel like shit the next time after you hit like a home run or something of that nature, or because it happens in hockey a lot, where you'll get a team that's good for like the first period, and then for some reason they almost do a Habib where they take off that second period because they might be up like 1 or 2. And then the next thing you know, it's like 6-1, 6-2 in the third period because they just lost it. And
well, I mean, in a team sport, that's coaching, right? I mean, you can't let your guys do that. And there's a problem. Is it like an adrenaline dump? Is it a motivation thing? Is it just conditioning?
Yeah.
Do they just have bad conditioning? Be a lot of things. When it's only you in a fighter, and you do have coaches, obviously.
Yeah.
That you hope to help you out the best they possibly can. But it's also on you a lot, right? To figure that out. And he learned something about himself, obviously, in that fight. Because again, he's never been to a second round, right? And there's no doubt in my mind that he's been training for a 3-round fight. I'm sure he does multiple. He probably do 5 rounds in sparring, fine. But he wasn't in the UFC, and there wasn't a crowd. But he knows the cameras are there, and he's on a pay-per-view card, even though this was a prelim. But still, he's on a big fight. The first fight, right? More people are probably watching it than ever right now because there's not a whole lot going on. So he's watching it. People are watching it, and it's probably a bit of an adrenaline dump was probably a big part of it. But he'll learn that, man. It'll be different. For sure his next fight. And he'll be back.
He'll definitely be back. I mean, again,
dudes, to get for this dude Sasha for not stopping. But this is the difference. He said he had title fights in Asia. So he had 5-round fights before, right? This guy's never been out of the first round. This guy has had 25-minute fights before, and it showed, right? Because he kept fighting, and he kept getting stronger as the fight went on. Not the opposite, right? Cauchi was the better fighter for 2 minutes and 30 seconds, maybe. It was actually a little bit less than that.
Yeah,
So,
man, it's an interesting thing to like, and like I said, it's probably just because he was, this was his first big fight of his career, and it's on a major pay-per-view card. I take nothing away from him either,
oh
like
no, of
absolutely
course not,
nothing.
man. No, he's
But
good. He did.
he definitely showed me I'm a fan. I'm a
Yeah,
fan
no,
of
I
both
mean,
of these
what
guys
does it
now.
say when you get a $50,000 bonus in a fight you lost, in a fight you got finished in?
Yeah.
You know, they like you, obviously, and you put on a show. You're good, bro. You'll be back. He might not have it. I think, I'm actually not sure. I was about to say, I don't know if you get the uptick in pay if you lose. I think you may. I think you probably maybe get 12 and 12 next. I have no idea. I forget. I used to know how it worked, but it changed it a lot since then. So I'm not sure. But
Yeah, man.
he's fine. His stock is fine, man. He's fine. He's good. They like him.
For sure.
I like him too. I know when that guy's gonna fight next, he's gonna put on a good fight, and I'm really curious to see what he does. In second and third rounds in fights. So
agreed, man. I'm excited just to see both of these guys fight.
And
again.
his brother's a killer too. They both got contracts on the Contender Series on the same episode. So I can't remember his brother's name, but it's another Kosi. They're both good.
Keep an eye out for both of them, man, because they're going to be awesome. Let's talk about this fight. Kyle Dawkins taking on Dustin Stoltzfus. And I just kept making Seinfeld references the entire time.
She did. I was going to say, these next couple fights, man, I was like in hangover from the first fight. Yeah. I know there were decisions, but I don't remember too much about them. I remember there being decisions and not being super exciting and not being super close.
Yes, and it was Kyle Dawkins wins by decision over Dustin Stoltzfus. It was a good fight. I mean, yeah, we both had kind of especially after that. And we
also, I think this is right when we got the pizza, Ray.
Yes, yeah, that was the lovely pizza. So I was very happy
that would make sense. So we missed that. We were eating pizza. Right. That's a very human thing to do. All right,
our like immune systems and body just needed nourishment more than Dustin Stoltzfus needed this win, which I'm going to say, yeah, probably. This one made me giggle just because of this boy right here just getting the model beat out of him and still won against Jared Gooden, did Alan Joban, the Louisiana son himself.
They're both gorgeous looking, man. Those guys are built like tanks, man.
Oh yeah,
carved out of granite, especially Gooden, man. Jeesh.
Yeah, Gooden's Gooden looks like
these. They're welterweights, right? We were talking about how big he was, man, for a welterweight. Yeah, jeez.
He's almost built like Adebisi from Oz. Like you don't want to be anywhere near him, and you make sure that you are on his good side at all times. Like, that is a guy that I loved that fight. And Alan Joban, man, even though he won that fight and got everything going, he was busted up, sir. He was busted up. Luckily got the win. That's a good thing. Let's move on to the prelims, because this is where business sort of started to pick up going into this fight. And Daniel Rodriguez versus Nicholas Dalby. That went your full 3 rounds. What'd you think about this one?
The only thing I remember about this fight, Ray, is that I remembered who Thomas Dalby was when I saw this. This is all I remember.
Nicholas Dalby.
No, I know. Remember when we were watching the fight?
Yes,
I'm like, wait. I'm like, Thomas Dalby. What does that sound familiar? I'm like, is that the blinding me with science guy? And I looked it up and I was right. So I knew the name of the blinding me with science guy. She blinded me with science. She blinded me with that guy, right? Hey, we got spammed again. Cool. Anyway,
did we?
Yeah. Anyway, the only thing I remember Dalby winning, and I remember me remembering who Thomas Dalby is, and not knowing if it was impressive or sad if I knew who Thomas Dalby was. So,
yeah, and this was one of the.
But Daniel Rodriguez is a tough dude, so this is a good win for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Is this also a welterweight division? I can't really see. He's very small.
Yes, this is a welterweight division fight as well. Right there, underneath, on top there. Yeah, just like Nicholas Dalby, he was on top. And yeah, it was a good fight. I don't remember much of it because we were probably chowing down on some pizza, and I was probably getting some booze as well, which is always a fun time. But it was a good way to start the regular prelims, and then we go to
This
and
was a good one.
this one was fun. This one was fun. And Antonina Shevchenko, I need to say this, is actually the hotter sister.
You know what? I was wondering when you were going to say that, man.
Yeah,
because and she's the older one too. But no, she got the face. But the thing is, just her sister's so damn violent, it makes her really hot. But I agree. She really is. But the thing is, Lipsky is she's hotter. But anyway, and she had that nasty straight knee bar her last fight. So I thought she was gonna beat her, and she was the favorite, I believe. But no, what did she beat? She submitted her, right? No,
yes,
TKO.
she got an arm bar.
It was a TKO.
Oh, TKO.
Yeah, and the second one?
KO TKO.
Oh, I remember how this went. I remember she won, and she got a bonus too. I mean, she did great. Good for her because she has a couple losses in a row. I know she lost to someone else who was on this card. What's her name? Chudakin.
Yes.
Yeah. Chukagian. Yeah, her. She lost to her recently, but no, she's good, man. The Shevchenkos are roped up. They fought on the same card a lot, but why not? But yeah, she looks good, man. Good for her. Valentina said they're both going to be champions someday, but they won't fight each other. I'm like, no, I want a really awkward sister fight.
I would love to watch
a
sister versus sister.
I'd hate it.
I'd fight my brother at 100 in an MMA fight for a title.
I've sparred my brother, but I wouldn't fight for a title. That's a little different, right? Well, it's the thing that the Klitschko's never did it, right? If it ever would have happened, it would have happened with the Klitschko's.
Yeah, and that would have been insane. Just because both guys would have.
Those guys, you know how often they probably offered that fight? So much.
God.
Probably so many big paydays. But the thing is, I remember them saying, we promised our mother we would never do it. But the thing is, for a fact, dude, those two guys, Klitschko's quickly, if you don't know, they're legendary heavyweight boxers, champions. Both were champions. And they had all the heavyweight championship belts, but they never unified because they're brothers. So, and they didn't fight each other. But there's so many sparring sessions where those guys just beat the hell out of each other. Like there's just nobody watching, right? That's one of the reasons I want Nikolai Fiorta on here. He's a boxer from Akron, and they brought him out to train with them. I think for the Fury fight, maybe because he fought Fury. And I just wondered if he saw them spar each other because that guy's really cool. I've been trying to find. I had to ask the one guy I know who knew him to try to get a hold of him. I haven't heard anything because he's not on social media, but he's around. We can find him.
I would actually love to see like family boxing, even in like an exhibition. If you were just to watch two brothers like try and beat the shit out of each other for
there was that what was that what they call Rough and Rowdy had two brothers fight, which is kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
That was funny. But and when my brother was gonna fight, I sparred him once and he talks about how he beat me up in spar, and he did because because at first what happened is like my buddies like Andrew Law and Ben White, they beat him up for a little bit, and then I was the last round, and I really didn't know anything, and he hit me with a decent uppercut. But I'm like, hey man, one of us fought MMA, one didn't, so don't give me crap. All right.
This is true. There's
a reason why I didn't want to do any live sparring before I actually did fight, because I'm like, dude, I'm gonna go in there and see what the hell happens. So I didn't want to get punched and be like, getting hit sucks. I don't think I want to do this. Now I didn't really know what it was like to get really clocked until I went in there. And once it happened, people were watching. So I was like, nope, I'm going to keep going. Fuck you.
I would fight my brother. I would. If somebody came up to me and was like, yeah, it's an amateur card and you get to fight your brother, I'd be all down for it. Because
my brother would absolutely fight me, but I wouldn't fight my brother. I don't know. Maybe he wouldn't now. I don't know. He wouldn't want to beat me up. He'd feel bad afterwards, but I wouldn't want to.
I might.
I wouldn't want to hit my brother. Like last time I rolled with my brother, he actually got me in something. I I was in an arm bar, but I was being stubborn. I didn't want to tap. My arm's actually been messed up ever since. It's over a year ago.
Aw.
And it was
Sorry,
on
buddy.
me. But I'm like, dude, you can't tap me. And he didn't tap me. But I paid the price for it. I should have tapped. Just because it ended up hurting my arm. But
you heard a nice crinkle, and it was your elbow.
I didn't hear anything, but I could feel it. But I'm like, no, it's not that bad. But afterwards, I'm like, okay, I think I might have heard something.
Oh.
And I think recently it started to feel better, actually. It's been over a year. So
wow. Really?
Yeah, it hasn't been great. There was days for a while there I'd wake up and it would hurt. And I can't like lifting things, it still hurts. I still haven't lifted a whole lot. Obviously, I haven't worked out too much. I'm afraid if I start doing that again, it's gonna hurt again. So I've never got it checked out because it hasn't hurt that bad, right? Then I need to get it checked out. But yeah, we'll see. All right, what do we get?
Yeah, let's. I wanted to say I actually hurt myself hammering something today at my friend's house, like trying to put stuff together. All of a sudden, I was like, "Oh, my elbow!" And it was just basically I didn't even hit it. I just kind of like put a little excessive force on it, and like my elbow felt like it was on fire.
Ray, we're in our 30s now, man. Things don't bounce back the way they used to.
This is true. This is very true.
Right. That's the thing. If you would have did that to me when I was 20, I probably would have been fine. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's possible.
You never know.
Also, not only that, but I don't work out. If you can't tell, I need to get back to it. Man, we didn't talk Andrew into getting me a free membership yet. See, if he gives me a free membership, I'll go because I feel obligated.
Well,
if I'm paying my own money, I won't feel obligated.
Make that part of it.
What?
They could become a sponsor and make that part of the sponsorship. I'd drive down every day to go roll.
For free sponsor, I will mention their gym every single day on this podcast and wear T-shirts.
Route 250 Mixed Martial Arts.
Well, yeah, the fitness center. It actually, dude. This is another free commercial. I was in there. It's really, really nice. Like it was. That used to be a Stephen Barry's over there. It's a big area. It's a big spot. And
Stephen Barry's.
It's in the mall, so it's a department store.
Oh, okay.
It was also a gym. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe it wasn't the Stephen Barry's. Maybe the Joanne Fabish was the Stephen Barry's. Okay, but there was another gym there. Anyway, that gym, it was a super fitness. But that gym moved in, and they have stuff in the back. They have a separate, I think it's a separate weight room for like power lifters or like really hardcore lifter guys.
Nice
spot. And then they have the MMA stuff's on the back, and then they have the normal fitness center in the front, and there's everything there. It's pretty cool. They have all kinds of trainers, and they have like a smoothie bar and all kinds of stuff. It's a real nice place. The only thing I don't like about it is the name. I think they could have been a lot more creative with the name.
Route 250?
Yeah, I mean, I know it's on Route 250, but I'm like, that just sounds like a lame name for a nice gym. I guess it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But that's where my mind goes. I'm like, dude, can you think of a better name? What would you call it, Tim? I don't know. Cook Forest County Fitness? No, that's worse, actually. That's worse than Route 250 Fitness. I don't know what I would call it. I would have named it after myself. Oh, you know what's funny? There's
Tim
a gym.
Danko's House of Pizza.
There's a gym.
Workout.
There's a gym in Pennsylvania called Danko's Backwoods Fitness. I don't know what that means. I just see like a bunch of dudes naked, lifting big logs. I don't know what Backwoods Fitness is. I'm a little nervous, or something like that. It's definitely Danko Fitness, but it's not my family. It's another Danko. But there's a gym called Danko, and it's close to where my family lives, but we're not related as far as we know.
That sucks. Couldn't get in on that sweet gym inheritance.
Well, if I went to get a membership there, dude, I'd pretend like I was part of the family. I'm like, well, come on, man. We have to be related. It's me, you guys, Rick Danko from the band. Take a load off, man.
I was about to actually say, well, I got a job and I put my money away. Yes, Atlantic City, great song.
Band is a shit.
They're fucking awesome.
Only one of those guys was American, right? Only the drummers.
Yeah, they were Canadian, weren't they?
Yeah. Except for the There's a really cool documentary about him because he was the last one to die, and he used to do this. They used to do these things called like Midnight Rambling, where they had like a party like at his house or someone close to him, and they just would jam. Like Billy Bob Thornton would show up all the time, and it was really cool. I'm like, man, I really wish I would have went to some of these. I don't know if you could have. I don't know who's all invited, but they're really cool. Stuff and things, right?
With somebody. if anything.
Maybe stuff and things, Ray. But it's like in the backwoods in the middle of nowhere. I don't. Stuff and things, Ray. There's all kind of cool stuff and things we need to explore, man. Especially when COVID's done. That's why we need to get this van. Yeah. I told you, you get this van.
Yes,
we're gonna live out of a van.
The bro van
style. I will buy you socks.
Or I will not wear them.
Our slippers. I will buy you slippers.
You know who else though is awesome, Tim Danko?
My favorite Walgreens employee.
Oh God, yeah, you sent me that. Oh, it's heartbreaking to find that out. Like,
yeah, but I mean, the way he said it though, he kind of like he just okay. What I'm saying is, Joaquin Buckley has won back-to-back bonuses, man. Okay, that's $100,000, and I think they said on the article I read that his UFC pay from the fighting pay, the bonuses, and the Reebok bonuses, sponsorship bonuses, is about $662,000. But he's still working his day job at Walgreens. But part of what he said is it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like a work ethic thing for him, part of it. Also, $162,000 isn't really that. I mean, you forget that these guys have to pay their own travel.
Well, I was about to say,
their own
also
coaching and their own payment.
Before or after that money's given to you.
Right, man. So you probably, okay. Well, it's taxes about half or a little more than half or a little less than half. A little less than half.
Depending on the state.
Okay.
Really?
All right. Let's call it 90. That's generous.
They aren't taking 90. If they took 90% of their pay, the taxes in this country need to fucking
go. No, Raymond. I didn't see it's 90 left. Okay, that's being generous. Say that 90 left after taxes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then all his training, which I don't know, but a lot, obviously, his coaches. And also, he forgets things like 10%, 5% for each of his quarters, and there's like 3 quarters. That's 15%, right? So he didn't even talk about 15%.
The managers.
10%. That's 25%, right? And then his
25. It's supposed to be fucking 10
altogether.
Oh, okay.
3 corners. You're not listening to me again. Damn it. Why don't you even talk?
Still.
3 corners. That's 15 total because I think it's 5 per corner is the standard. Then maybe 10 for a manager. That's 25. That's a quarter of the 90. Let's call that 22 something, right? 22. So it's 9 to 78-ish, right? And then also his airfare, whatever. That's into 70. Okay. So I don't know. Let's call it around, I don't know, maybe 60 or so that he has extra money, but that's still not a ton, man. It's not. So it makes sense, man. I mean, so Jeff Neal's still working as a waiter. But dude, yeah. Also we've talked about that damn card they announced, dude. That card is more stacked than the next pay-per-view by far.
December 19th.
Yeah, dude, that card's awesome,
dude. Yeah, we'll talk about that towards the end of the end of the podcast today because I do want to talk about that card. Yeah, that card's awesome. Sexy, dude.
That card is so good.
Oh,
it's a bummer that like I'm gonna get the next pay-per-view, but right now it doesn't seem as stacked. There is a change that we haven't talked about yet, but we will when we talk about Figueiredo. But it's not as good as that 19th card, and I have to pay $65 for it.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Like I look at a lot of the UFC cards,
but whatever. I mean, because I'm gonna do it anyway, and I'm gonna watch all of them. It doesn't really matter to me. But I mean, I also get where they stack free cards because they want people to buy pay-per-views. The casual fans who haven't done it before. It makes sense. I get it.
It's interesting, and plus, I mean, this is more. It's in December. Usually, they stack the cards to begin with, so it's sort of they not to use a regular word, but they spoil us with gifts in December a lot of the time. Does the UFC like they always find a way?
You're not exactly wrong with this. What they want you to think, they want you to think that they're doing us favors, so you give them more money. True. You know how much money I've given those people this year? I don't know. I'll figure it out before the end of the year because thousands. How many pay-per-views? Not thousands, but how many pay-per-views? And then the Fight Pass. So a few hundred.
Yeah,
3 or 4 maybe. That's a lot. That's a lot of money, dude. $300-$400 for a sport. When you know how much money I give the NCAA? Less. Well, I do pay. I mean, I do pay for Big Ten Network, right? So there's stuff, but like definitely it's less. In the NFL, less. And I do but still less. But also, fights have always been that way, right? You always have to pay some money to watch fights. That's kind of how things have always been. But all right, Joaquin Buckley, man, fucking monster again. coming off one of the greatest
Savage.
knockouts in the history of knockouts, maybe the best knockout in the history of knockouts. That's rough, man. And he even said it. Like, I mean, the pressure it put him under, right? And now he's a success now. He went from this step to 80 steps up because of this insane knockout. So his next fight, man, of course, there's going to be a bunch of pressure on him, and he's fighting an undefeated striker in Jordan Wright. He's very good. And he's knocked people out with spinning back kicks too. He's very good. And he finishes this kid hard, man. He beat the hell out of this kid. Actually, I don't blame anyone for bringing him out for the second round, but you could tell after the first round that he was done. He was out of it because it didn't take much. As soon as Buckley hit him with a big, I think he's a southpaw, so it was a big left hook, then a right, and then he was done for sure. And he crushed this kid. And he'll never have a knockout crazier. Honestly, I couldn't even think of something that someone could actually do and land that would be crazier than that. There's things, but man, those are nuts. I've seen somersault kicks, but that's not even as crazy what he did.
James Vick getting up kicked by Nico Price.
That's great, but it's still not as crazy as his
no.
But he still had another spectacular knockout, right? And dude, good for him, man. And he's calling out James Krause. I really hope that fight happens because James Krause was talking shit about him. He was super pissed. He wouldn't even say his name, but Joe Rogan said it for us because he knew who he was talking about.
Joe Rogan's such a shit talker. I love him. He's such a shit disturber.
He's great. That's what I would do too. That's why I can't wait. Eventually, we're going to be doing that shit on this podcast. I'm going to get guys who are about to fight each other, and I want them to on at the same time, and I want shit talk. It's going to be fun.
Love it.
I hope so. But yeah, Buckley looked great again, man. Hopefully he will fight James Krause because he wants that fight really bad. And he just said, he's like, I kind of feel bad hurting Jordan Wright because he knew he was already done. But he's like, James Krause, I want to hurt that guy. I'm like, yes. If that was you not hurting someone, what you did to Jordan Wright, I want to see what you do to somebody like Krause, who you do not like, you actually want to hurt. Mr. Pharmacy worker at Walgreens. That's what I said to you. I'm like, I'm disappointed that I don't have like a Joaquin Buckley working at my pharmacy. Like, get my prescription and be like, hey, bro, let's talk about your fight. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I feel like I would call him Joaquin because I've seen him just like knock motherfuckers out. So I feel like I would know what he was like. And he'd probably be like, man, all I want to do is give you your Percocet. Like, please go away. But and I will always say this on this podcast without a doubt that and I think you'll agree with me on this, he will go down in history. For highlight reels, UFC does like the top 300 of all time for like UFC 300. If that's not number one, there's a fucking issue. Because that was, again, we called it the red pill kick for a fucking reason. Yeah. That was a nuts kick to the face. Honestly.
Yeah. The only way you could ever possibly put anything up above it is because of things like situation and what the kick meant or what the knockout meant or something. There's just Anderson Silva, that front kick on Vitor Belfort normally wouldn't be as awesome, even though it was pretty awesome. And we didn't see anyone do that before, but it was for a title, right? Yeah. So if you want to bring that into play, maybe, but besides that, no, that knockout was fantastic. And Gabriel Gonzaga, when you think of Gabriel Gonzaga, what's the first thing you think of?
Him knocking out Crow Cop.
Exactly. Him Crow Cop. Yeah. Right. He's a good fighter besides then. He had some good wins, but that was his ultimate highlight, right? That's what people can remember him for sure, is that knockout. He's not the only one. He's just the only one I thought of right this second. But yeah, for sure. He's one. Also, Dwayne Ludwig, right? He is one of the fastest KOs in the history of the UFC. I know who you're laughing at. You're laughing at that dude's hair that he knocked out?
No. I actually have a Dwayne Ludwig story.
Do you? All right, let's hear
it. So, I lived in Denver for a little while.
He was out there, right?
Yeah, I was out there living in East Denver, like right on the Denver-Aurora border. I got a wild hair up my ass one day because I was unemployed. I had some money with me, and I went, you know what? I'm going to go to Ludwig MMA in Broomfield. And because that's where Ludwig MMA is. Go to Ludwig MMA. I don't know if you live out in Colorado and you're watching this, you need to go to that gym. It is a mind-blowingly awesome gym. and it's really state of the art. And look, like the videos that he does on his Instagram as well, Mr. Ludwig. Well, it's definitely awesome that I got to. And but here's the thing: I was going there. I had taken a hit off of my vape like a douchebag in his gym.
You're a
And
douchebag. I just tell you 4 or 5 times to not vape in my mother's house.
yeah, I know it's what I do, but it's so I'm going and I meet the kickboxing people. Like I'm seeing the kickboxing people. I'm like, hey, how are you? How are you? And I was, oh no, I got to go over to this room to go to the jujitsu thing. And I'm like, oh my god, this is kickboxing. I'm so sorry. And as soon as I said this is kickboxing, I'm sorry. All of a sudden, I hear a hey, and it was Dwayne Ludwig yelling at me. And this was right after the second Cody fight, by the way. They had just defeated
Dillashaw,
Cody Garbrandt.
Guy, yeah.
Yeah. TJ was his guy. I don't know if he still trains TJ or not. But yeah, I got yelled at by Dwayne Ludwig inside of it, of Ludwig MMA. And it's a story I cherish to this day because it's one of the cooler moments I had in Colorado.
What did he say?
That we bow. That it was basically I didn't bow in and out of the mats.
Well, then you deserve to get yelled at.
Oh no! I'm not saying that I wasn't like.
Hey, man,
I'm not
don't
going
fucking
like, fuck
do.
you.
You don't do that shit, man. I mean, maybe you get away with it if you don't know, but after you know, man, you do it, right?
I do. Yes.
Come on, man.
When I go to Revolution, I bow in and out of the mats. If I forget one, I at least bow in. That's how I make sure.
I'm curious to see my fight video for multiple reasons, but I think I bowed going in. I don't think I bowed going out, but I don't remember. Just a quick, head bow going in. I don't think I did going out because I didn't turn around and because I just lost, right? So I don't think I did that, but I think going in I did. Probably just out of habit. I don't know. I'm curious. Yeah, I think I did.
I've been in gyms where you bow in and bow out. A lot of places don't do that. It's a weird.
You go to 250, you better do at least judo class.
Okay, I like that. Thank you for the heads up, sir.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, yeah, it was. But it was like literally a week after Cody or TJ beat Cody. Mm-hmm. I'm nose to nose with an angry Dwayne Ludwig.
Right.
And I would love to have him on the show. See if we can possibly get him on the show.
I probably found myself in a similar situation. I don't remember, but it's very possible I was at a bar where Cody's uncle was at the same time. I know I have before. One time I was like with a group of people he was with, and we hung out. I didn't really talk to him much, but I know who he is. I see him all the time, but he lives in town. Again, that's Cody's uncle who taught him how to box, and he does most of his corners. I think everyone but his last fight. He didn't do his last fight, but besides that, he's been all his championship fights. He's been there.
Yeah.
But
he was there. He was there when he fought Dominic Cruz.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And in both Dillashaw fights, I believe.
Okay.
I don't know about the Muniz fight though. I'm not sure. I didn't watch that one when it happened because I was in LA and didn't get the pay-per-view. But that's also why I didn't see Joe Rogan at the Comedy Store the one time I was there because he was busy.
Really?
He was busy. He's doing the UFC. I did see Regan. I saw Regan. I told you that. But he didn't perform. He just was hanging out.
Sean Lynch has told stories about you being at the Comedy Store.
I didn't do anything.
No, it was more like just the being around the stars and everything, kind of like watching your face and reacting.
Yeah, it's cool because it's unlike any other. I mean, I've been to cool comedy clubs before, but it's unlike any. I mean, because it's the Mecca. It's like probably had the same reaction when I went to Fenway, except the only thing with Fenway is I knew I'd never be a decent baseball player, right? It's a little bit different, right? But that's like that's where you want to go as a comic. You want to cause. I don't know if it ever will be that again because of COVID and what's going on with it, and it's a bummer. But I'm watching that. I think I have one episode left of that Showtime documentary, and it's great. Yeah, it's really good, man. And that place is cool. And when you go in there, you can feel it, man. It's special. And that's when the first time I thought, I'm like, dude, comics are rock stars. And I kind of didn't feel like that ever before until I got there. I'm like, dude, they're like fucking rock stars here.
Yeah, I've had until COVID happened, I was very much wanting to go to the Comedy Store at least once in my life. Now I'm sort of like I want to go to Austin or I want to go to the East Coast and hang out with my comic friends out there more than I do LA. Like for
Well,
some
okay, but
reason New York sounds
yeah, because
like
you don't know
where to
anybody there. I
go
mean,
in the
yeah,
next like 5 years.
yeah. Well, I don't know, man. With COVID, I have no idea. I don't think it's going to be either of those places. I've just said to you before. I think there's going to be a new hub, and it very possibly could be Austin. I think it's going to be the new hub. I think it's going to grow. And it's going to be the new hub,
Or because
or
of
one of them, or a lot
as
bigger.
we
Maybe.
mentioned earlier, Anthony Cumia is moving to South Carolina and taking our buddy Dave Landau with us. I kind of want to become a comic or a compound comic more than I do an Austin comic, to be honest with you. I think it'd be fun.
Are they moving to Charleston? I hear good things about Charleston.
I don't know where
Danny
they're going to
McBride lives
move.
down there.
Yeah, Charleston has a good scene. I've heard good things about
Yeah, I heard good
Charleston.
things about Charleston. I don't know. We both need to get out of here, but we're both too lazy and broke to do it. So
Exactly.
me mostly it's lazy. I'm terrified. I don't know. I don't know why.
But you want to know who? Do you want to know the two people though that aren't completely lazy like us, who have real work ethic?
I don't know. It has something to do with fighting.
The two Brandons, sir, Brandon Royval and Brandon Moreno, had a fight, and this was, as we found out, the title eliminator. Because also the person who won the flyweight title, Figueiredo, called him out, so it's about to have some party time for Brandon Moreno doing the
soon,
damn thing
in a couple of weeks, man.
I
Next
know,
pay-per-view.
December next. It's crazy.
Yeah, this will be the first, the quickest turnaround for a champion in the UFC ever. Right, it's like 3 weeks, so that's crazy. It's because Jan and Sterling fell through. I think it was on Jan's part. I don't remember what. I don't think it is COVID. I don't think I actually read what it was. I don't think they know for sure yet. He didn't say at the time. Anyway, that fell through. They needed a title fight, and Figueiredo, as we'll talk about in a little bit, won his fight pretty quickly, and so did Moreno. And he was the number one contender before, or the number one spot, at least in the rankings, and he is again still after he beat Royale pretty convincingly. So yeah, that fight made sense, and they're both ready to go, and they're going to do it in 3 weeks in Vegas again. So there you go. I think. Yeah, actually, is that in Vegas? Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it's at the Apex. Yeah. Okay. But yeah,
but
first
Jan's
round.
fighting, I wasn't sure. Okay.
First round, 1 second left in the round. Brandon Royval could not do it anymore.
Bummer. Yeah, he got his shoulder separated, I believe.
Yep. And that was a horrifying moment. Like when you saw him go down and then there was that cavity in his arm from the injury. Like I felt bad for Royval in that scenario, just because you're like, you work so you've probably like Andrew or somebody else that trains with Andrew over at 250. Like they train for how long? Guys at or Revolution Fight and Fitness as well. They train so hard for so long, and for it to end in an injury like that is just heartbreaking, man.
It sucks. I told you Saturday, but I'll tell you again. My buddy Garen Smith is his name. He's one of my friends since third grade. He had one fight, right? Like me, he had one fight, but he did better than me. He won his one fight. But I remember back when he had it, it was up in up towards you, Brookfield. It was up Brookfield at that big ballroom that looks like a barn, right? They call it the Yankee Brawl Room or whatever. He had a fight up there, and I faked sick at work, completely fake sick. I made myself puke so I could leave work to go see it.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I want to make sure I was out of there, and I want to have evidence. So I left, and I went there. And after the first round, he got the guy in a figure four arm bar and pulled it towards his shoulder, right? And he popped the guy's shoulder out. So in between rounds, I see it, and I'm screaming at him, "Look at his shoulder! Look at his shoulder, God! Look at his shoulder!" But the ref saw it first, and they called the fight. He won the first round anyway. But that guy afterwards says, "Oh, that pops out all the time. Pop right back in." And he did probably right back in, but he won the fight for sure, fair and square. But it just kind of sucked that it was that way. But he definitely won the first round. I think he would have won the fight. They never let him fight again. That's a whole other story because
what felony did he occur? Or
no. It's his arms are different. That's the only way I can really say it. I don't know what he has, but it's always been like that. They're different, they're all curved, but he's a tank, man. He's as I call him the Raptor because he has like short, like curved arms, but his whole body he's a tank, right? And he works out a lot and he lifts tons, but he fought great. But he wanted another fight, and I said I'd try to get him a fight. So I called the commission and I talked to Bernie Profano. And Bernie Profano happened to be there that night, and he said he's not going to let him fight again. So, yeah, and he wasn't happy that the doctor let him fight in the first place. So,
interesting. Tim, before we get into our main card, I am going to do a tradition in the Bro Plata, which is
I was about to too. Is anyone listening?
Well, I have a weak bladder, sir.
Dude, I need to get more drink.
Well, okay, how about this? I pee first, you talk for a second, and then I come back and you go get your drinks. You like that idea?
Yes.
All right. Tim Danko, you have the floor.
What should I talk about, man? What are we on now?
We are on the main card for UFC 255. I believe the next fight we're going to talk about is Mauricio Shogun Hua versus the Bear Jew Paul Craig. And what I'll do here is just do that, or I can just do this part. And there's Tim Danko next to the lovely
all right, well, I'm not going to talk about that because I'm going to wait for you. So
okay, I like it. Then what I will do is I'll put Tim Danko on the screen, and ladies and gentlemen, it's pee time.
Hi, everybody. We don't need Ray. That's the thing. I'm trying to replace Ray. If anybody wants to be my new co-host, all right, so we have to do. Look what he did. He put his empty microphone next to me. That doesn't need to happen. Look, we don't need him. He's annoying. He's weird. We don't need him. If anybody's interested, put it in the comments, man. We'll give you an audition to replace Ray. All right. This is what I was going to say, man, before we talk about Paul Craig and Shogun Hua, right? Paul Craig, his nickname is the Bear Jew, which is from Inglourious Bastards, right? And he won't say what happened, why he got that nickname, or I guess it's a gym secret. At least that's what they said on the UFC broadcast Saturday. But what's funny is, to me, at least I think this is funny. Tuesday, we had our buddy Sean Lynch on, the comic Sean Lynch, right? And he talked about his origins of Celebrity Deathmatch, the show he used to do. And he said he used to work with his buddy, who was also his roommate in college, Eli Roth. Eli Roth is a filmmaker, man. He's done Hostel, both Hostels. Let's see, the House, the Clock on Its Walls, Death Wish, the Bruce Willis Death Wish, bunch of other stuff, man. The Keanu Reeves movie with those two girls that came in from the rain and then fuck with them or whatever. I don't know what that one's called. I don't remember. Anyway, he was that one too. He's made a bunch of movies. Also, he's been an actor, and he was in Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Bastards, and he played the Bear Jew. So I thought that was funny. That was interesting, right? Our dude is buddies with that dude, who's the Bear Jew, and then we do MMA podcasts, and then the Bear Jew, Paul Craig. I don't know. I thought it was interesting, but we're going to talk about that in a second. Paul Craig, that fight. Oh, what else we got? Let's see. We get the Shevchenkos, both won. I'm going to talk about that. What else? Yeah, Ray, I was trying to get to something else. I was just talking about the Bear Jew connection.
The Bear Jew connection. What are we talking about?
Connection.
Huh?
Are 4 degrees of Bear Jew.
What's the bear? What's
I already talked about it.
Well, I wasn't paying attention.
Paul Craig's nickname is the Bear Jew. We're friends with Sean Lynch. Sean Lynch, on our episode last Tuesday, talked about his origins of claymation and Celebrity Deathmatch, and his buddy, his college roommate, who also made stuff with him, Eli Roth, the filmmaker.
Yeah.
You mentioned Eli Roth. Eli Roth, as you know, played the Bear Jew in Inglourious Bastards. So that's our 4 degrees of the Bear Jew.
All right, go get your it's booze break for you. Go get the booze break.
See, I didn't bother everybody with commercials like you do, so you do that.
We do not have any reads today, except for anal bleach suppositories.
Right. I'm just talking about you asking people for money. I do have some change though, man. I got to get this. I got to go to the Walmart. I'm not excited for it because my bank's on the Walmart. I have to go to activate my new debit card. I got a new debit card. Right? I have to activate that before the month's over. Also, there's a Coinstar right there. I'm going to take my coins to the Coinstar, and I'm going to use that to give to our buddy Harrison to help us out with stuff because when he's here, he's great. We don't always need him. Like we don't need him for this show. We like to have him. We don't always need him. Sometimes we're going to need him. We're never going to need him for end of the year show. I don't know what we're going to do exactly, but we're going to have a list. Maybe have some compilations. Maybe compilations, man. I definitely want to get the clip of me asking Amanda Rebus to marry me again. Everyone needs to see that.
I believe I can find that on YouTube.
It's on. Yes, you can. You know what else you can find on YouTube, man? You can find some good stuff. You can find our interview with Master Ken. You know what? If you watch that and you don't like it, then you're never going to like us at all because that was fun. Yeah, Master Ken was the man. We just kind of sat there and asked him questions, but he was the dude. He was awesome. We got it out of the way and let Master Ken be Master Ken. He was fucking great. That was great. Yeah. I've liked all of her interviews. I thought all of her interviews have gone well so far. Knock on wood.
We've had an amazing time, and actually, we're going to have more.
We need to work harder. You know, that's one thing I should have done for this Pittsburgh card, man. I should have asked every single fighter on that card, right?
Speaking of which, anybody watching this right now, I don't care who you are, go to 247fighting.com and buy the pay-per-view. Buy the pay-per-view, even if it's old school. You're watching this a week from now. Go watch Eric Posen's fight for 24/7. It's happening, I believe, right now. And Eric is a good friend of mine. He knows a lot of same people that Tim does. And he's just an awesome guy. So help support 24/7 Fighting. There's a card going on tonight in Pittsburgh. And buy the replay down the line as well, you savages. I want people to understand exactly what I'm talking about because Eric Posen is the shit, sirs and ma'ams. Okay, so that's a good time. We're talking about what Tim goes to get his alcohol. We have the main card coming up for Bro Plata. This part will be edited out for the audio version, but not the video version, just because the video goes out as a raw stream. So we're always doing the share, like, make sure to give that thumbs up and share as well to your MMA friends so you can get the word out about Bro Plata. We appreciate you guys being with us. Our one Twitch listener who keeps spamming us, thank you very much. I don't know if you understand English. You're probably in Russia. So that's always a good time. We appreciate you guys. But it was what I love the most about this card. The main card was just crazy. There was a lot of different things going on with that one. And it's an interesting podcast pay-per-view that we're going to be talking about. Dana White, during the press conference after the pay-per-view, had a few things to say about Mauricio Shogun Rua. I think, to be honest with you, it was a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Reach is a good word to use. As I'm gonna grab my cord real quick here, but no, I think it's a reach that Dana White says that Shogun needs to retire. It's definitely not a thing that should happen, but it's I don't even know how to describe it because I was kind of heartbroken that Dana would say that, especially after Shogun came and, had a great fight. Nobody thought it was going to be a great fight between him and Minotauro Nogueira. And it ended up being a 3 or 5 round war. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was definitely one of those war-like MMA fights that you just can't ever say anything. And then Paul Craig, the Bear Jew, Paul Craig, had a great showing against Mauricio Shogun Rua. And once Tim gets back, we'll discuss more about it. And there, while we're having our booth. Hopefully, if you're on the live stream, you'll be able to see this. This will not be on the audio version of the podcast, which you can find on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. We just got added to Iheart Radio recently, which is cool. So just give us a thumbs up on all of that. A review would be nice. And it's a fun time to be alive if you're in the Bro fam. Tim Danko is officially back from booze break, and we are going to continue the UFC 255 breakdown. What's up?
What are you talking about?
Just rambling on to the one person in Indonesia that's watching us. You know, just the person sending us want to be famous links and all that kind of stuff. I kind of want to take them up on that offer.
Should we quit?
No. Why? Are you considering it? Contemplating it?
No, not really. Having too much fun. And also, like I said, it's like we expect to be really good at this right away. No.
I wasn't expecting us to be good at this right off.
I mean, I don't think we're. I mean, I often listen back to our episodes to see what's up and to make fun of the sound quality on some of these streaming apps.
Yep, StreamYard. We're looking at you, StreamYard.
Anyway, however, I mean, to be clear, it does tell you that you should plug into your USB or whatever, or your whatever you call it.
Broadband,
yeah. Which I could do that. I don't know how much it would help if I was the only one doing it, right? I could do it. But anyway, that's not important. And I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, I listened to it. And I don't think they're that bad, man. Like, I think our interview with Andrew, other than some of the sound issues, which there were sometimes he says things I had no idea what he said because it was all mumbled.
Yeah.
I thought it was good. I thought we had some good back and forth. We had some funny stuff, I think.
Yeah.
We had a good.
I would say we're getting better.
We had a good back and forth with the Amanda Rebus thing.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let go of, by the way.
Huh?
I'm not letting go of that, by the way.
The Amanda Rebus thing?
And her Rebus. No, it's my boo right there.
Yes.
And there'd be so many people I'd have to fight to get a date with her. That's fine, including her probably. Like that. Like if you unfortunately watched Entourage the movie, right? That scene where Turtle has to fight Ronda Rousey to get a date with her. Absolutely would do that. Absolutely, 100% would do that. And I think I would fare better than Turtle fared with Ronda. I'm guessing, but I could be wrong. I don't have much cardio.
Turtle's the super perv, right?
No, he's the little one. He's the short one. He was chubby for most of the show. That's Jerry Ferreira, I think his name is.
Okay.
The one funny thing about that show, there's a lot of funny things about that show, but all their ages were so different. And they had to roll with the school together. But in reality, they're like 15 years apart, some of them. Because Jerry Ferreira was like barely he's 20 when they started that show. The other guys are in their 30s, I think.
Yeah, because I remember where I stopped watching.
That show's hard to watch now. If you went back and watched old Entourage episodes, I used to love them, but watching now, you're like, whoo, some of it does not hold up, man. Especially some of the stuff where they talk about what they do with females or whatnot. You're like, rough, man.
I think actually, isn't Jeremy Piven here in Cleveland?
This weekend? That's right. He's doing stand up now.
Yeah.
I wonder if I hope he's good. I hope he's taking it seriously.
I'll send you.
I guess what I mean by that is I hope that he knows that he can't just. I mean, he can just be Jeremy Piven, and people will see him for being Jeremy Piven or some sort of version of Ari Gold, the character he played on Entourage. But I hope he's just thinking no, if I'm going to do this, I want to be the best possible stand-up I could possibly be. And I mean, he had writers right on Entourage, but he was very good. His delivery, he was so good on that show. He was amazing. Everybody loved that character.
Message Dave Landau.
I'm not going to, but why? He has things to say about him. Oh,
he's got opinions on Jeremy Piven.
Oh man, I want to hear him.
Yeah, just message Dave. I don't remember offhand exactly what they were, but I remember he had.
Dave helped me out. He put my family out by sharing something my family's doing with my uncle's daughter is a problem. I told you about this. Dave
I think he mentioned it on the Kumia show that he helped you out with something, but he didn't use your name exactly. He just was like, I donated to something recently.
I hope yeah, that's nice because I asked him to, and I asked him if he could do just fucking throw it out. It'd be really nice. It'd be a big deal. But it was nice of him. He threw us a couple bucks. Was my cousin a couple bucks. Just quickly, it was my it's a big deal. Actually, I should talk about this more on the podcast as I have some sort of platform. I don't know if anyone's paying attention, but I won't do it too much today because I haven't thought about it. My cousin's daughter was abducted by his ex-wife and taken to her home country of Costa Rica. It's an international child kidnapping. She's all right, but the thing is that's illegal. You can't.
Yeah.
And I feel
you were
so
telling me
bad
about
for
that on
her.
Saturday.
Yeah, I feel I couldn't remember her name at the time. It was Cammy. I didn't have to look it up. I just remember the next day. I'm like, I was drinking. I am now, but I remember. Yeah, and I've only met Cammy a couple of times, but that's the point, man. The point is, man, could you imagine, man? I mean, we neither of us have kids, but I could see if like happened to my brother or even my cousin. Her kid was his life, right? And he had full custody, all of a sudden gone, right? She takes her away and goes to Costa Rica where he can't see her. And it's illegal, obviously. And I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's taking a lot of legal fees, and that's.
Well, as I was say, didn't you tell me that there was like politics involved too?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's always how it happens.
Corruption. Yeah.
For sure.
And again, because we're in the subject, just really quickly, there's quickest way I can say. There's a convention called the Hague Convention that says you can't do that. Costa Rica signed on to it. So that if a parent American takes a kid who's American to another country, they have to send her back, right? But there's been like 11 or so that went to Costa Rica since that happened. And even if they have the Hague Convention hearing, which they have had, and if they win, which has always happened, they still never bring the kid back. So it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a sad state of affairs, really. And
I think she's 12.
Oh God, living in Costa Rica?
So bad.
Living in Costa Rica?
Well, with her mother, but yeah.
But I'm saying like 12 years old. That's got to be rough living in a place like that, because you hear about a lot of stuff coming out of Costa Rica every once in a while, where it's like violence and all that.
Who knows what's going on with COVID down there, man? I haven't heard anything about that.
Who knows?
Yeah, no, maybe another episode. I'll break it down better.
Yeah, we'll do that on another episode for sure, man. Because I want to get in.
That's my cousin if he wants to talk about it. I don't know if he may not want to.
We'd love to have him on.
Yeah,
talk about this.
Have an actual serious episode. I would be down for that for sure.
A very serious Bro Plata.
I mean, if we had a better audience, I would absolutely do. I would have done it already
for sure.
But, it's this was supposed to be on Hannity before COVID started. Like Hannity was going to do they're going to do a piece on it, and they asked him to be on, but they haven't done it yet because of COVID. Was but yeah, I mean, Fox News is not my favorite network in the world, but I mean, that good for them if they're going to put a light on it because it needs to happen because it's not only happening to him; it's a big deal. International parental kidnapping, I believe that's what they call it.
Yeah.
Anyway, fights,
or as my dad called it, divorce.
It's kind of like the worse, right? It's like,
yeah.
I live in a different state than my father. It's completely different.
Yeah. Let's talk about. We were talking about kind of in the early go, Paul Craig versus Mauricio Shogun Hua.
Yep.
What was your thoughts on this fight, bro?
Paul Craig did exactly what he should have done in this fight. Right, they had a draw about a year ago. Paul Craig took that fight on short notice, flew him down to Brazil, had a really close fight with Shogun, got called a draw in Brazil. Also, I told you I never saw that fight. I tried to find that fight pass again. I still couldn't find it, but it was a draw either way. Since then, they both have won fights, Shogun and Paul Craig. They put this together again, and Paul Craig finished the man pretty quickly. Shogun just turned 39, I think, yesterday or the day before.
Yes.
It was since Saturday. I know that because we talked about him being 38 on the last episode, but since then, he's turned 39. Anyway, he's been around a long time. Paul Craig beat him up, and then Dana White said he wants him to shut it down.
Yeah.
Shogun, that is.
I don't, because Shogun was on what, a 3-fight winning streak before this fight?
Well, there was the draw in there. So if you want to call it an unbeaten streak, it's been like 2 years since he's lost.
Well, I was about to say, he's been in the plus for at least 2 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for Dana to say that is, I kind of, because he's a promoter, he can, say these kind of things, and it gets people talking about, Dana White said this about Mauricio Shogun Hua. I at least want to see him fight a couple more times. In the UFC, I don't want to see him go to like Bellator or ONE FC and fight. I want to see him finish his career in the UFC.
I think there's definitely light heavyweights in this division that he can compete against. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, maybe there's not, man. Maybe, I mean, as long as there is, why not? I mean, dude, he's not going to win a title, but if he still wants to fight, at least let him fight out his contract. I don't know what his contract is, but at least let him fight it out, man. He's 30. Dude, you have guys in the UFC who have won titles at 40. Okay. So,
yeah, Randy Couture comes to mind.
Right. Cormier was 40 when he had the belt, the heavyweight belt.
Yeah.
Or maybe even 39. Well, no,
he was 40. I believe.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's, it's a couple. So, they won't be the last one. It may not be Shogun because this guy's had 40 fights, just 40 amazing fights. He's given us so much as fight consumers as far as fights. So many great battles, so many great fights. This guy, awesome. This guy wants to keep fighting for a little bit more, dude. Let him fight a couple more fights, bro.
Yeah.
You can.
Dude,
there's absolutely guys in your division that he can compete with. And if you think of yourself as like the Major League Baseball of MMA, which they do, or whatever, then you're not counting like the bottom part of your division as like a AAA. You're not. You're saying they're all major leaguers, right? They're all UFC guys. So any of them should be able to compete with any of those guys. Maybe they won't be favorites, or maybe they weren't to be expected to win. There should always anybody in the UFC in a certain division should be able to compete and not be completely embarrassed, at least 9 times out of 10, with most any other guy in the division. So therefore, is there anyone in the UFC light heavyweight division that Shogun can compete with? And the answer is, I'm pretty sure. I'd assume so.
I think he could I think he could have at least 4 more 3-rounders out of him and just go off into the sunset and make it, be the Shogun that we know you can be, and make it everything that we want it to be. You know what I'm saying? Like Shogun, even we thought that on this podcast when he fought Nogueira, we did not think it was going to be the war that it was, and Shogun won that fight hands down.
Well, for sure, but Little Nog looked fine. He looked good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was going to be the majority of the guys in that division. No, Ben, but he could fight Shogun, and it didn't look bad, man. It didn't look like that movie Grudge Match with De Niro and Stallone, right? It didn't look like that, right? It looked like, which is, underrated boxing movie. Not a great one, but Grudge Match is still better than basically every MMA movie. Maybe Warrior might be a little bit better, but that's about the only one. It's better than Here Comes the Boom, which is another comedy fight movie. Yeah, it's better. Anyway, we talked about that a billion times, and we will talk about it a billion more. Anyway.
Yes, we will.
Anyway, what was the point I was getting at? He won that fight. It was okay fight. He won that fight, but no. The point is, Shogun, dude, let's do fight some more. You have guys.
No, I was going to say, I was actually going to say, sir, you're...
What?
When he said, "What's the point?" I was gonna go. We say that about your act.
Wait, what? You were talking about my act. Is that how you really feel, Ray?
No, but it was mean enough to say right after you said what you said. Oh. That was the perfect burn.
You want to go toe to toe, Ray?
Huh?
You have been doing more reps than me, but you want to go toe to toe? Huh?
I think you would kick my ass in a definite like joke off. You have the better jokes. You're the better writer for sure. But I just love fucking with you because I want to get the point.
It's okay. That's okay.
I want to get the point from you or the laptop close. I want it. God damn it.
I'll figure out a way.
Let's talk about this one, and I'm gonna tell you something right now.
Oh, what?
People.
What are you gonna tell? What are you gonna tell everybody, Ray? Tell them, Ray. Tell them. Do we got the clip? Oh, we should have made the clip.
Yeah,
you know what?
That would actually be a good idea.
I watched this again, and I went pretty hard on you guys. I told you were wrong. I'm like, you guys are wrong. And this is why. I went pretty hard on this one.
I would say round 2 is where I actually just said, "Oh yeah, Chikagian's got this. Like at the end of that second round, you could obviously tell that Caitlin Chikagian had Cynthia Calvillo. I picked Cynthia Calvillo along with Andrew Law, my buddy, my bosom buddy, who's one of the most amazing judo trainers of all time.
You haven't even met the dude, only on over the internet.
We have the same thought processes, sir. I can already tell.
You know, honestly though, this was actually one that I if betting was easier in Ohio, I would have probably put a little bit of money on this one because I really did like this line for her. And I really thought that for whatever reason she was getting looked down upon for things that really weren't her fault. And well, exactly what I said to you. I mean, it happened. I mean, she's been losing. She's lost 2 out of 3. She lost to Valentina. She beat the other Shevchenko, and who won this card. We already talked about that. But she lost to Andres, but she lost to 2 powerful ladies who really could beat her up and have a lot of power. I didn't think Calvillo had the kind of power to mess her up like that, and she didn't. So I thought maybe she'd be able to outpoint her, and that's exactly what happened.
Yep. And that the distance,
I just think you guys weren't paying attention. You guys haven't been watching.
I was more looking at the speed of,
this is my upset.
Calvillo.
It's my upset pick, and it played out.
Very much so. And it became apparent to me around, I want to say it was at least a couple minutes into the first round that I was wrong just because on the size differential between Caitlin Chikagian and Cynthia Calvillo. That reach advantage is a motherfucker, dude.
She used to be.
Nobody talks about that as a stat anymore, where it's you have to look at 2 things: height and reach. How far can you move that head back, and then how far can your arms go? And to be honest with you, Cynthia Calvillo was the shorter fighter. It became very apparent in the fight that she wasn't gonna. It was almost a Conor McGregor. She's gonna do nothing. She's gonna do fucking nothing.
You ever notice that some taller fighters don't really utilize their length?
No,
the way you think they should. You know who doesn't do that? We should have talked for next time. I don't think Andrew Law does it enough. I mean, The thing is, I understand he likes to clinch, but he's taller when he was a lightweight, 100%. But as a welterweight, he's taller than most of the people he fights. Okay, and he has length of advantage in reach.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think
it's just because he wants to get in? He wants to get in.
Okay.
But the thing is, with him, it's either he can be all the way out or all the way in. If he's out, he can jab. But then when he gets in, he can. Maybe if I watch more fights, I'll see him use it a little bit more. I don't know. But the thing is, his deal is to get in. But I'm like, you could probably jab guys all day. He has done it before in the past. Okay. I think it's the Brandon Suber fight was the one where he fought in that place in Akron, that Goodyear Center, where the air conditioning broke and it was like 100 degrees. And you couldn't, I mean, he tried to grab a guy, but he was so slippery because how much sweat it was. So he had to, that was when I finally realized, I'm like, dude, oh man, Andrew can stand. I mean, you've seen that last fight he had, and it wasn't as good as it was more. That fight was more crisp. I'm like, dude, he beat this dude in the feet, and he mostly did beat the dude in the feet. And he looked crisp and good. And he knocked that dude. He knocked him down a couple of times. That's when I realized, dude, his stand-up's getting pretty solid because he really picked that guy apart. And that was the one fight that I saw, like, man, his stand-up is coming along for sure.
Yeah, man, you can. That's something like
because he had to. I would say this quick, just because he had to. That's what that kind of fighting is, man. One thing doesn't work, you go to something else, right? Or you go to whatever feels right in the moment. We'll talk about that in a second with Valentina Shevchenko's fight, right? The way she fought Maya wasn't the way you figure she fought Maya, but the way she talked, it wasn't exactly the strategy either. It's just like, how she thought things were going in her head. Like, hey, let's try this. Let's do this.
Yeah. That's the beauty of this sport, the hodgepodge, my friend.
It is. There's a billion ways to win.
Speaking of a billion ways to win, this one, I was glad it came out the way it did. I'm not going to lie. I picked Mike Perry. I believe I picked Mike Perry.
Yeah, I got this one wrong too. I was 4 out of 5 on the main card, and I missed this one. However, I was glad, and we all said we hope you missed it.
The highlight of this whole thing, and it's become a meme. The video has been shared on a few of the MMA Twitters out there and the MMA Facebooks out there. Whoever the sound person was, hats off to you for playing what you did and saying "fuck you, Mike Perry" when you play Halo.
I didn't hear exactly what the reason was, but one thing I read was that his song didn't get cleared. But I don't know why they played Halo. I don't know if it was a backup. I don't know if his girlfriend or somebody. I shouldn't say it was a girl. It could have been anybody, right? But the fact, number one, he knew the words. However, I know a few words to Halo. I don't know all of them, but I know enough that I'd like kind of sing along a little bit like he did. But good for him. And, you know, he sang around long. He got in Perry's, excuse me, not Perry, Mean's face and kept singing this song. The thing about Mike Perry, man, is he's very hateable in reasons, but at the same time, dude, there's things I absolutely love about him. The fact that he just doesn't give a fuck. He brings his girlfriend and his pregnant girlfriend and his buddy into his corner with him who aren't fighters, right? And then he sings Halo at the top of his lungs. He doesn't give a fuck. He fights hard. He fights tough. Means got him, though. Means outboxed him for sure. His boxing was really crisp for sure. Perry threw all his punches to murder that dude. And that dude, threw smart, and he was very smart. And he outpointed him for sure, and he had a really good fight. Means definitely won the fight. I believe it was 2 rounds to 1. That's how it was scored. Yeah, that's good for Means, man. Means got a good win. What you told me before is you read something that Perry might be on the block. And at first, the chopping block, as far as getting cut. And at first, I'm like, no, there's no way. But now, more that I think about it, and the fact that he's actually kind of lost like 3 or 4 now. You know what? And he kind of gave like a thank you to the UFC. I think he's waiting to get cut. I think he may get cut. No,
yeah,
now
I can
that I'm
definitely
thinking about it.
I can definitely. I feel like we'll lose a personality in Mike Perry. A personality.
But he'll be around, you know. Like we do, we can watch. He'll probably get signed by Bellator or somebody. Watch him. Somebody we can tune into. We can watch him fight.
I was about to say, watch him win the Bellator welterweight championship,
maybe back.
or
He's
even
not,
a middleweight championship.
Right. I mean, he's not too old, man. I don't know. Maybe he'll win some Bellator fights, and if he wants to, maybe he won't. You know, it happens often with Bellator too. Like if he does well in Bellator, and the UFC maybe wants him, but once you're in Bellator, it's a little bit different than when you're on the regional scene, right? Because you're with a big promotion, right? Some people may think of UFC as 1 and Bellator maybe as 2 or whatever, 3 or less than 1. However, if you are fighting Bellator, you didn't fail. You're succeeding, right? You're in a very big promotion.
Yeah.
Right. That's like
still
soccer.
Getting a good paycheck.
Soccer, right? If you're playing the Premier League in London or like that big whatever the big league's called in Italy.
Premier League,
like, that or whatever the one in Italy's called. I don't know what the one in Italy's called. But they're both
Liga 1, I think it's called.
I think you're right.
I'm not a big soccer guy, but I think it's like Liga
right.
1 or something like that.
I like FIFA, man. You play FIFA? No. I gotta get the new FIFA game, man. I like FIFA. FIFA's really fun. Anyway. But yeah, there's so many big leagues in soccer that doesn't mean if you're playing in the big German league or you're playing in the big Italy league or the big England league or the Premier League, you're all winners. You're all some of the best players in the world are in those 3 leagues, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like with the UFC is, except maybe I don't know. That's maybe what people think of Premier League to the German league there, the Dortmund league or whatever it's called. Yeah, I'm sorry. That Dortmund is a team. I don't know what the name of the league there is.
I just know Premier League because I follow like Manchester United. So to be only.
You know what, man? The truth is, man, when I actually want to watch soccer, so I used to give soccer crap for a long time. Soccer's a good sport. I'm pretty sure if I grew up in Europe, I'd probably be a big soccer fan. The World Cup is always so much fun. I love watching the World Cup when the U.S. is in it, but they missed last World Cup, so I didn't watch it at all. And the next one, they're going to be in Qatar, which I'm going to watch it, but man, personally, I really wish they would have taken that World Cup away from Qatar.
Yeah.
Quickly. That's going to be the T-shirt I make right here. Quickly, right? Quickly. It's never quickly. However, number one, they already found out they paid for the votes to get the card. The World Cup. And they're doing it in the winter, which they never do. It's always in the summer. It's going to be like the winter of 2022 because of how hot it is in Qatar. So they wouldn't be able to do it in the summer. And they're building all new stadiums.
That's what every city does. That gets it.
I know. But, you know, the thing is, like the U.S., when they have
America gets it in what, 2020?
The next one, 6.
Yeah, 2026, I think it is.
Yeah, but it's actually a duel with Canada and Mexico, but they have most of the so it's North American, but they have most of the of the stadiums are host. There's like 1 or 2 in Canada, 1 and 2 in Mexico, and the opposite. But all the championships, I think it's going to be in New York, and all the round knockout games are going to be in the U.S. too. So it's mostly U.S., but it's also a little bit Canada, a little bit Mexico. Anyway.
I kind of want to go to the one. If they do one in Columbus, I want to go to it because I think that would be.
If you can look it up, the sites. Columbus didn't even bid because their stadium's too small, but Cleveland did, and they didn't get a bid. I think Chicago, Soldier Field, Kansas City Stadium, Arrowhead is built like a soccer stadium.
Yes.
So they're going to have a lot of good, and Dallas obviously is going to be a lot there, but MetLife in New Jersey and the New York Stadium is going to be where they had the championship, and that's going to be fun, man. I'm excited for that, but I can wait, right? It's going to be 4 years. But anyway, Qatar, the only thing I was going to say about Qatar is people are literally, I'm not just making this up. I mean, you look it up. They're literally dying building these stadiums, and the conditions for the workers is almost slave labor, dude. It's really gross. Disgusting.
Yeah.
Like I said, people are dying and they haven't changed a thing. I think they said about 1,500, 3,000 people would be dead by the time they open this thing up. It's so sad, and I'm very disappointed in FIFA for not taking that away from them. Absolutely, so disappointed. I mean, FIFA's very corrupt, obviously, but I'm so disappointed they didn't take it away. I mean, there's countries. The U.S. could have done it at a whim. Boom. We have, especially summertime. We have so many football stadiums that are open, dude. Looking for stuff. Boom. You do it in like a couple months' notice. Boom, done. And England too, right? Just because they're just a big, it's where the game is invented. There's just a big soccer country. England and the U.S. Boom. Probably a couple more. Boom, done. We already have the stadiums for you. Anyway,
yeah,
that just really pisses me off, and it almost makes you feel like a bad person for watching the sport. It really does.
Well, I mean, if you look at John Oliver had a great thing about FIFA. He did 2, I think. Two of his what are usually up on YouTube for last week night. Yeah, and he loves soccer. He loves soccer, but he shits on FIFA as he should.
Oh, FIFA's awful. Even the Olympic Commission too. Anything international is awful. But dude, FIFA's terrible. They're trying to get a little bit better. It was that Sepp Blatter guy. That guy.
Yes.
Was super corrupt. And so many people got to jail for corruption at FIFA. Super interesting, actually. It's not the only one. Cricket is the same way. There's a really good documentary. It's really good documentary. Don't laugh because cricket's big other places. It's not.
Oh no, right? I was about to say I love cricket. I honestly love cricket more than I love baseball.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, hold on. I'll put the cameras on us so we can have this discussion, sir.
I mean, do you like what do you call it, 2020, or do you like the Test cricket?
I love the World Cup. One of my goals was actually to, if I would have had a job around, I think it was 2018 was the last World Cup. I was actually going to go to England because I have family there, and I was going to stay with them and train myself to different places in England to go watch cricket matches. Like that was going to be my whole thing. I was going to take a month off. I knew exactly the plan that I was going to work for to get to that. And I don't know, it's just a fun game. Like if you've ever watched like Australian Big Basher League, it's fucking insane.
The Indian Super League, so it was called. That's the biggest one, right?
Yeah.
The biggest 2020. What is it? Is it called 2020?
Well,
because
you have tests, you have certain championships around the world as well. Mostly in India. India is a huge, and actually, it's kind of funny. There's a cricket club here in Cleveland that I wanted to join, but I've never had an opportunity.
Interesting,
it's a fun game,
not bad. But cricket originally is
baseball.
It's the closest thing to baseball, yeah. However, there's a lot different. I mean, scoring, they score hundreds of runs, right, in a match, and then it's different. It's not as defensive, I don't think.
For a while I had a cricket game on my phone. Like I would play, I love it.
But they have got what they call bowlers. I think they call the guys who throw. Yeah, it's kind of similar to pitching, kind of, and
it's nowhere near pitching.
Originally, Test cricket was just cricket; it was the only cricket, right? And that was matches that last for 3 or 4 days, right? Old matches, which it seems if you just say 3 or 4 days, it sounds outrageous, but it was kind of comparable to like a series in baseball. That may have been what they kind of got it. It's you play 3 games, but every game counts. But it was kind of like if you played a 3-game series and whoever won the miss. Or if you play a 4-game series and whoever had the most runs, right? Won once, right? Kind of like that. But now they have this thing called 2020, which was only, I think, the 2000s. It was invented, and that's like baseball length cricket. I think it's like 3 hours, 3.5 hour matches at cricket, and that's become the like mainstream cricket. And even though it's like 20 years old or less, I think it's less than 20 years old. That's been the mainstream in cricket. What I was talking about, the documentary on cricket I saw were about these guys that I feel like if we were cricket fans, we would have been these guys, the guys that were like hard test cricket. Like, this is cricket. This is real cricket. Like, that's how I am with baseball. So I feel like I'd be like that with cricket if I was a cricket fan. But they were just doing a documentary on test cricket, and then they uncovered all this weird controversies and corruption and whatnot in the Federation of Cricket. It's pretty interesting. I don't remember the name of the documentary, but it's pretty interesting. But yeah,
if you find it, send it to me.
If I remember it, I will. It used to be on Netflix. I don't think it is anymore, but I'll try to figure it out. It was a few years ago. I saw it. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, no, cricket is interesting. I think I'd probably be a fan of cricket. But yeah, dude, do you go to any? It's like one of my goals is to eventually go to Europe and see big soccer back when, eventually if we can have big crowds again, I want to go to a Premier League match or League One or whatever. And one of those or Champions League or one of those like really big matches. Cause it'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
You're gonna have fun.
Absolutely.
For sure. It'd be great.
This is no joke, but I want to do this as sort of a joke. Which is I want to go to Old Trafford where Manchester United plays, and I want to sign in a Manchester kit top that says I am part of the Manchester United fan club from Ohio. Just like from Euro Trip. I want to hold that sign on television and have it seen.
That is funny
for the world.
That is funny. Now I remember watching Euro Trip for the first time. It was with a bunch of my friends in like somebody's house, and we watched it on a tube TV, and we were all together. And it's before we could drink alcohol, but we had fun because it was again like we talked about with Harrison, watching movies with people was fun. And I remember watching Euro Trip with all my friends, and I loved it. It was great. It still is a funny movie. I love Euro Trip. Even though it was like all done like in Albuquerque or whatever, but it was good. Tony Jones is in it, right? He plays the crazy Manchester United fan.
Kicked him in the yaw bulls. Wow, you guys are on a totally different level of swearing over here.
This isn't where I parked my car. And the Matt Damon pop punk fucking cameo is what Scotty doesn't know. That movie's amazing. That's one of those ones when my nieces get of the age, when they get into teenage years, it's one of the ones I'm going to be like, sit here. Watch this movie. One of the many ones, but that will definitely be on the list.
I was like, God, I think I was like 25 when I saw that movie. 26.
Oh, dude, that was out for probably like 7-8 years by then.
I know, but when I watched it,
you're not probably 10 by then.
It became one of my favorite movies to watch, just because of it. I can't remember the guy's name. He was in a few movies. Sort of looked like
the blonde guy.
Yes, he didn't look like. Oh, God damn it! I can't remember what the dude's name is, but he was in Frost v. Nixon, the movie. If you remember,
okay.
Yeah, that guy. He's sort of the American guy. That guy.
He was also he was in a movie version of a book. Oh my gosh, it's a book that. Anyone, any English major, or anyone who's into reading is gonna get driven nuts as they listen to this because I can't think of the name of the book, but there's a character named Phineas. They were at a boarding school. Something about Blitzkrieg. It was a dodgeball. I don't know, some game.
Jacob Pitts, by the way, is the actor.
Okay. Well, then what the heck was the name? Now I need to figure out what movie he was in, because they made us watch it in high school because it was a movie about the book. Maybe they didn't make me watch it in high school, but I remember they made a movie.
What year?
About the book. I don't know, but if I heard the name, I definitely would know. What was the name? Jacob
Zen
Pitts?
and the Art of Landscaping?
Nope.
Ed.
What was the name? Jacob Pitts?
Ed. Jeff Pitts. Yeah, Jacob Pitts.
His name was Jacob Pitts.
Across the Universe.
No. Wait, am I thinking of the same guy? Oh, yeah. Euro Trip guy. Okay. Wait. No, was this the guy who played the main character or the guy who played the blonde guy?
The guy who played the blonde smartass.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. I'm pretty sure. I could be completely wrong.
He was also in Sex in the City. Interesting.
Good for him. Who wasn't? Bon Jovi was in that, wasn't he? I'm not quite sure.
We Were the Mulaney's, Pipe Dream.
I'm going to figure this out. I could be completely wrong. Could be thinking something completely different. This makes zero sense.
He was also in the movie 21 with
that's right. He was.
Yeah. Because that's where all of a sudden, that's the first time I ever saw 21, and then I saw that guy. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. The smart ass from Euro Trip? Fuck yeah, baby. I love that guy. Oh, The Good Wife. Above average present.
A separate place.
A separate place.
Yeah.
A separate piece.
Separate piece. Yep. I read the book. Yep. I don't even remember the name of it. Yep. Separate piece. He was in a separate piece movie. Don't remember what it's about, but I remember reading it and I remember watching the movie. Separate piece. Good. Everybody good now?
Yes, we're fine now.
Through. However, so that's my point. Oh, the one more thing I want to talk about soccer. That's what it is. I'm pretty sure I told you this, but I didn't realize how crazy the World Cup was until I was in Germany in 2006 during the World Cup. Like my choir went there for a tour, but it's happened to be the same time as the World Cup. And I knew what the World Cup was a bit, I think, but I went there and it's how many people were there from everywhere else around the world. Right. And it was so cool to see all these flocks of people, and in every major city, even if they didn't have a match going on, they had an area where they had stadium seating and a giant projector screen. And we wanted to go so bad they wouldn't let us go. But they had probably a couple thousand people were watching this in one spot.
Yeah,
and also a lot of those places open container, right? So you could watch it. You could have alcohol there and much. It was cool. And I really want to go back to a place that has, I kind of think we missed a little bit of that culture there. We didn't get to watch them. I mean, we watched them on TV and watched them in maybe some restaurants or whatever. But I really wish they would have let us go to one of those setups.
Are you a fan of Vic Henley, the comedian? Do you know who Vic Henley?
Just died, right?
Yeah. He died 2019.
Yeah, Vic was awesome. I met Vic once. He was awesome. He's super cool to me. He's hilarious. He has great stories. He has great stories before on stage and on stage. He is amazing. I love that dude. I'm really sad when he passed because he's very, very funny. He's one of those, man, I guess you could say underrated. I'm pretty sure he's fine with his career. But
I wouldn't say underrated. I think he reached legendary status, though. He reached legendary status.
In the comedy world and in the world of comics, man. There's people that know who Jeff Foxworthy is. They don't know who Vic Henley is because he was like a Southern comic, but he was also, I'm not going to say he was, I don't know where his political lines.
He was a very liberal guy. Guy.
It seemed like that, but he was also a guy from Alabama, right? So he was like a Southern, one of those like blue collar comedy guys, but at the same time, he was very liberal. But dude, he's fucking hilarious, man. Mark Cadano took me out to meet him and see him at the Improv. That's still awesome. The only time I've actually been to the Improv was that time. And we met him and talked to him, and he was super cool. 2013, I think, or 14.
I was 14.
Whatever the year of the Kick Six was for Auburn, because he went to Auburn. It was that same year.
2012.
It was at least 13.
Okay. Yeah, that might have been the 14. Show that I worked at.
You may have been there. I don't know. I may not have met you then. I'm not sure.
No, 14? I wasn't doing comedy then.
Okay,
I was in broadcasting school at the time.
I think it was 14.
Okay, then I wasn't there because I met him in like 2012.
Okay, because Mark Riccadonna, the great Mark Riccadonna, picked me up from the funny stop and took me up there. He's like, dude, I'm going to hang out with Vic and see Vic. You want to come with me? I'm like, yes, of course. So I went up with there and we watched the show and we hung out with Vic and he was really cool to me. He's like, hey man, good luck with comedy and everything. He's real nice. And we talked to him and he's such a cool guy. And yeah, it really bummed me out when that was the only time I met him, but it really bummed me out when he died because he was a great talent and a really cool guy.
Yeah, I loved him. He was one of the first comics that I ever watched, and I was like, I want to be that dude. Like, I want to be that guy up there talking about his friend Scooter or Scoots or Scoop taking the KKK. Yeah.
It's such a good story, man. Yeah, everybody look up Vic Henley. He's so good. He was so great. He was one of the best storytellers, man. He really was. He was so great.
I was about to say one of my favorite Vic Henley bits goes with soccer.
Okay.
And he talks about being in England for an England versus Germany soccer game. And there are like riots going on and like the fucking fans are getting fucked up. But my favorite part about this is, and this is one reason why I like soccer. Okay. Football, whatever you want to call it, in whatever country you're watching this in, soccer, football, whatever the fuck. It was the England was just getting blown out by Germany. And all of a sudden the English fans just started chanting, if you won the war, stand up. And they went from section to section.
Oh, fans can be brutal and it's really hilarious.
Oh. And I love the way he put it too. He put it as like it's like the wave, but with a fuck you in the middle.
Yeah, I need to do a bit about this time that my senior year, we had a away basketball game at Claymont, which is very close to here. I don't think we even play them in anything anymore, but it's very close. It's like 10 minutes from where my house is. Right, it's very close. We used to play them in all sports. We used to play them in football. We don't really anymore. Because they're a little bit smaller school. But anyway, point is we had a basketball game over there. And like with the students, they were always known as like the slutty school and like the dirty people school. So I remember they were chanting something at us at a game and our student section just stands up. Everybody chants HPV, HPV, HPV. And it was hilarious, man. And no one stopped us. Just HPV. Oh man.
Well, that's gonna go up on our YouTube channel because that is a funny ass fucking story.
I didn't think about it till now, but I need to make a bit about that.
Yes, absolutely.
HPV. Because what they started with was, and I remember this because another quickly story. There's a kid named David White who played basketball at Philly. Freshman year, they said he was going to play JV, but his parents thought he should be able to play varsity right away. So they moved him from Philly to Claymont. And he played varsity right away at Claymont. And he was very good. Very, very good. Scored a lot of points. He was a great player. But because colleges were looking at him and his parents thought maybe it'd be a good idea for him to go to a bigger school. So his senior year, they shipped him to Canton McKinley. He wasn't even a starter. They won a state championship that year, I think, but he wasn't even a starter. He was like the sixth man. But that was he was the same grade as me. So my senior year, they didn't have him anymore. He left. And they were beating us, I believe, at that game at their place. And they started chanting, "Who needs David? Who needs David?" Right? And I don't know who started. I wish I knew who started on our side. No, it wasn't me. I don't know. I think I reluctantly chimed in. I don't even remember.
Reluctantly.
But all of a sudden, we just hear, HPV, HPV, HPV. Yeah, I'm proud of my alma mater right there. I really am. No one stopped it. It's kind of great, man.
We'll get into like high school rivalries because I've got some shit, man.
We're mostly doing this for ourselves now, right? It's good because I had to pee again.
Yeah, like one guy in Indonesia probably watching on Twitch. We appreciate them. Share it out with the rest of the people.
Internet forever.
But I'll put the camera on myself just because Tim needs to go pee because of his weak bladder. It's okay. I used to play hockey for a city here in Ohio called Menor. And our biggest rival was Lake Catholic. And every year without fail, there would be a fight in the stands. And it was actually more it was sold out more than it was football games a lot of the time, because of the fact that Lake Catholic was such a rival to us. And yeah, there were just times where bottles were being thrown at people, fist fights in the stands. I love hockey because hockey does the fun things like that, where you can have those rivalries. It's like soccer almost. So those European people are watching going, it's nothing like it. It's almost like it. It's pretty much soccer on skates. It's a great game, way better than soccer, by the way, FYI. But yeah, it's a good time. We're just waiting for Tim Danko to come back because he has to pee. I know how far he has to go for his bathroom too, which is a little weird. But you know, when you figure out a bathroom in a house, it becomes your new place. It becomes your new house, yo. So thank you again for the people watching this, or the people that have watched this episode. We are going to be finishing up our breakdown of UFC 255 on your radio dial, and we're going to get into the thing. Tim is back. Tim is back.
HPV.
HPV. HPV. HPV. HPV.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
HPV.
Yeah,
Cindy has.
One of my favorite bits I do is we talked about it with Sean. We talked about it a couple of times. Is a bit I do about high school. But it's about choir. I forgot about the HPV thing is really funny too. I'll figure something out.
Let's get into these last two fights of the card. Valentina Shevchenko.
Do we have to? I'm having fun, Ray.
I'm aware. Well, we've got another person watching, so we gotta keep this moving, because I know they came for the Valentina Shevchenko talk. I know that whoever is watching on Facebook right now, first of all, thank you. You're awesome.
Don't scare them away,
Share us
Ray.
out. Leave a comment.
Valentina Shevchenko. Ever tell you that? I love Valentina Shevchenko.
Valentina Shevchenko is one of the greatest women's fighters of all time. And I'm not just saying that because I want to fuck her, but that's just me.
Ray, get out of here, Ray. Here it is. It's going to be the umpire toss. You're gone. That's going to be it. I'm dumb from now on. Yeah, dude. Good for Jennifer Maia. She gave her a really tough fight, 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Right? She definitely did not win the fight. Valentina won the fight. It was very strange to see that Valentina wanted to take her down. Well, good for her, man. And she said after the fight, it wasn't like necessarily a strategy coming in to do that. It's just during the fight, she thought that was the way to do things. And she took her down and she grounded her out. And she also beat her in the striking department. She lost a round, I believe, but that's about it.
She took a round off.
Yeah. But dude, good for Jennifer Maia. I mean, she was a huge underdog. Nobody thought she had a chance. She fought really tough for 5 rounds.
1,600 at bell time. 1,600.
No, it was 2,000.
Oh, what? Yeah, it was 2,000. Yeah.
Got to 2,000. Yeah. Minus 2,000 for Valentina. I don't know what the plus numbers were.
I think like 1,000.
Yeah, it's over 900. 900 is what we saw when we talked about it Saturday. But yeah, it was over that. But she lost. Like I said, it's an easy $100, man. You got to throw $2,000 on somebody. It's a big risk, but it's easy $100. So she did win. She looked very good. I love Valentina, man. Afterwards, she said she wants to fight Amanda Nunes again. Zhang Wei Li is a good fight for her as well. Good for Jennifer Maia, dude. Her stock rose, right, with a loss because she fought very, very tough against a monster. I honestly think the only person who's going to beat Valentina Shevchenko at flyweight is Davison Figueiredo. I think it's the only one that can beat her. Is Davison Figueiredo. No one else has a shot. That's the only guy who can beat her. Maybe squeak out a decision.
We're in a weird time if you look at mixed martial arts where we're starting to get these, it's almost like boxing, where you're starting to get the era of the really dominant world champions again in mixed martial arts. We had it for a little while with like a Cain Velasquez. He'd lose to Junior Dos Santos. They'd have a rematch and fucking Junior Dos Santos can't speak, a word because he's been beaten to a bloody pulp by Cain Velasquez. Do you like this era? Do you think it's good to have a constant, or do you think or do you think that having a multiple champions over multiple matches is more exciting?
Well, I mean, you look at any other sport, man. Dynasties make money, right? Dynasties are good for the sport always, man. The Patriots, you hate them, but they're good for the football. They're good for the NFL, right?
Yeah.
Ohio State, Alabama, good for college football, right? They're always good. So the answer is yeah. I mean, it's good. Dynasties are good for sports, and these monster are also good. Also, because you always wonder, like, Mood, is there somebody that can beat them? Is it gonna happen? And you know what? It usually happens eventually. There's been a handful of fighters that it hasn't happened with, right? Hasn't happened with Khabib, and if he's really done, it's never gonna hapen, right? John Jones hasn't happened hasn't happened. He's gonna
he's not elbowing deaf guys.
He'll be a monster, but yes, if he's not getting DQ'd for elbowing Matt Hamill, man, I love to have Matt Hamill on too, man. I love Matt Hamill. He was a great fighter. He was really fun.
Do you think though he would ever be? Do you think he would hear our questions though?
Yes, dude, he can read. Dude, have you not saw the movie about him? He didn't even learn sign language until he was in college. That's true.
I'm aware he can read lips. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the ref told him he won, and that's how he found out.
This is a bummer. And one of the kids who play quarterback in the state championship game, I forget which school, is deaf. And he was talking about how difficult it is for him with the masks. I'm like, yeah, that's a suck. It's like so much is reading lips for them, right? So that's would be a really bummer and a hard time. But no, Matt Hamill is great. But John Jones is a monster. I think someone will beat him eventually in the heavyweight division before he retires. But yeah, no, it's good. It's good for the sport, man, because they seem like these untoppable, these mountains you can't climb or whatever. They're on pedestals and you can't knock them down. But when it happens, like we talked about when Weidman beat Silva twice, and one of the greatest moments in the history of MMA, period, is when Holly Holm knocked out Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
So the answer is yes. Yes, they're absolutely good because they seem unbeatable and they seem like not only in this sport, other sports. I compared this sport to tennis maybe more than I should, but it's because it's one-on-one.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no weight class in tennis. But there's guys who are monsters in tennis. I mean, right now there's like 3 guys that are the biggest monsters in tennis: Nadal, Federer, and Djokovic. And anytime those guys play each other, you tune in because you're like, holy shit! No matter what tournament it's at, you're like, oh crap. These are, 2 of the best in the world. They're going to go at it. And they go at it a lot because tennis, that's how that works. But, the answer is yeah. Yeah, superstars and dominant people are absolutely good for the sport, man. It would be boring if there wasn't, man. Just to change hands all the time. Because I feel like it wouldn't mean as much, man, if it just changed every title. I mean, a title's a title, right? It's fine. No, I'm not going to give anybody crap on their title. They won a title, good for them. It's real. It's good for them. But man, if you have it for multiple times, it's great. Stipe or Silva, Jones, you have multiple defenses of your title. I mean, you're a monster. Oh, there's a lot more. Nunes, Shevchenko, and a lot. It's great. You're a monster. You're a legend, right? But you just have it once, man. You're still a legend, right? Like Sarah, or whatever. You're also a legend. Cody Garbrandt so far, although I think he may get another one eventually. Also a legend. But when it switches hands all the time, man. I don't know.
Garbrandt's a legend yet. He's still young enough.
No. I'm just saying he just has one so far. I think he's gonna get another one, right? Yeah. Just like someone who's had one so far. Right?
Yeah, I can. It's. I like the fact that, and you brought up Stipe. I mean, for this area, he reached GOAT status the day he sold out the queue. Like in this town.
Before that, man, really here. But yeah, you're right.
But I mean, that was the cement that really was yeah, we're locking this down. And especially the way he beat Alistair Overeem in his hometown.
Right. I'm going to say it. Maybe about true. He was number 2 in Cleveland sports next to LeBron James. I mean, he was probably number. Yeah, I would say that. I mean, there's other guys, Frankie Lindor. If you don't follow fighting, of course, you're not going to count that. But as someone who follows all the sports, Stipe was the number 2 hero, man. He was.
He's
the first guy to bring a championship home. The first guy, and I mean, the Cavs did it obviously, and that's the one that counts because it was a team sport. But Stipe did it. Not only that, it was the day. I'm pretty sure this is true. Believe Land, the documentary Believe Land aired on ESPN. The debut day was the night that Stipe won the championship. I'm pretty sure that's true.
I can't check that. Next time we have Harrison on, we'll have him check that because I would love to talk about that.
I'm almost, dude. You know what, man? I'm pretty sure that's true.
Let's look it up, sir. Let's look up
Right now?
Land. Yes, why not? Believe Land 2016 film.
All right, so what we're looking up is Believeland.
Yeah, if you've never seen that documentary and you're watching this,
it's great. Yeah,
it's actually a really May 15th, 2016. Let's see what
May 15th, 2016.
Yes, UFC 198, which is where Stipe became champion. May 14th, sir. So 1 day off.
1 day before.
1 day before, yeah.
Okay, it was a 4. However, sir, what time in our time zone did his fight happen?
Midnight, so technically the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're splitting hairs. I think
you're splitting hairs. I'm right. I'm right.
But that's splitting hairs. Like midnight, 1 a.m. That's not even technically the next day. Everybody's still awake.
Right. Technically, it is the next. You're not saying it correctly. Technically, it is the next day. You're saying it's not technically. Technically, it is. No, that's the day of. Sir. That's what I said. I said the day of, and that's right. Okay, I said the day. I was right. Like if we put money on this, I would have won the bet.
And no, because it said
there would have been a fight.
2018.
There would have been a fight then. Anyway, the point is, I was basically right. All right. I said the same day. You know, maybe in my memory, I thought is that because it's after midnight, the same day. I didn't remember it was the card started 1 day before. I don't know, but either way, it's pretty darn close, so that counts.
I will give you the closeness. I will not give you accuracy points. I'll give you.
You have to give me accuracy points, man, because he won the title on the 15th.
Yeah, technically
came out. So I was right. Yeah. Anyway, why am I even letting you dispute
this? If I fall asleep on the 14th,
that doesn't matter.
Or 15th at 1 a.m., I don't count it until I fall asleep.
Technically, he won the title on the 15th of May.
Yes, I will give you that. That
was the same day. The same day as Believe came out. So I was right. You can't say I was wrong because I was right. 100% right. Yeah. Why are you
even right on semantics? Semantical.
It's right. I'm right. And even if I was wrong by a couple hours, but I'm not wrong. I'm right.
Okay.
No, I was right. You can't say I'm wrong because I'm not wrong.
I'm not saying you're not wrong, but it's a semantical thing. It started on the 14th and it ended on the 15th, but it was a couple hours into the day.
This fight started on the 15th.
Technically, yes.
Yeah, so I was right.
It's semantics at that point.
Yeah, but I'm right.
Are you?
Yes. He won. I said he won the title on the same day Believeland came out. And I was correct.
But again, I see it as a semantical argument.
Why can you? Why?
Because technically it was still May 14th.
No, it wasn't. It was after midnight. It was May 15th.
What is the time difference? Okay, what is the time difference? I'm going to look this up. Brazil's time difference.
I'm pretty sure it was the same. Because it's just Brazil, north-south. You have to figure out the city. Difference. Make sure you get the city correctly. You gotta get the city
correctly. It is November 25th right now, and it is 11:57.
Curitiba. Make sure you get Curitiba, Brazil. Time in Curitiba, Brazil.
It's 11:58.
Oh, so even then, it was way the 15th then. Dude, no, come on. The answer is I fucking won this. All right.
I'll give you semantics. That's how we'll go from there. All right, let's get into this since we talked about Valentina dominating. And then I can't even say the word domination. I can't even say the word domination for Valentina compared to Davidson Figueiredo, sir. Like Davidson Figueiredo,
this is so slick.
I was about to say has like the most buttery slick.
If you haven't seen it yet, wait until
Watch it.
it comes out, free or whatever. Eventually, you'll see it. Might take a minute, but yeah, it was so
We're
slick.
gonna, Tim. We are actually gonna talk about this fight longer than the fight actually happened.
So we talking 2 minutes? 157. Is that what I see?
Yeah, we can go 2 minutes on this and go to a 2:31.
No, I said it. It says 150 minute 57 in the first round. Is that what it said?
Yes.
But just if who's it, Perez? If he had a good position, right? But Figueiredo was so smart and so slick that he was able to take that position and make it his advantage, right? Get to a good position to get a choke in. Man, you thought he was going to take his back or at least be on top. All of a sudden, Figueiredo has him in a choke. It was so slick. So much experience, obviously, in the gym and in fights in general. He's had a lot more fights. Dude, the guy's slick and he's awesome. He's fantastic. Somebody made a lot of money, I think. He bet like 12 grand on the submission and won like 55 grand or something like that.
Wow.
Good for him, awesome. Man. Yeah, he won. Good for him. And now Moreno, who also had a good fight, is going to fight for Figueiredo in a couple weeks here, man. That's going to be fun. I think I'm going to give Moreno the benefit of the doubt and say it's going to be a closer fight. But you know what? Perez was fighting fine, but the Figueiredo is so slick. That was such an impressive move, man. Anyone who knows anything about jiu-jitsu, even if you just watch MMA, you know a little bit about it from watching it. Watch that and watch how slick that was. It was so good because it looked like Perez is going to have his back, or at least he's going to have dominant position, something advantageous to him. And then all of a sudden, Figueiredo gets the guard and gets the choke in. So smart, so slick, so beautiful, gorgeous. It was gorgeous, gorgeous jiu-jitsu. Knock people out, dude. This guy's slick, man. Listen, this is what I think is going to happen quickly. Where he's going to beat Moreno, and then eventually, hopefully, March, Cody Garbrandt is better. I guess COVID has been the big thing for him. Joe Rogan mentioned it on his last podcast with, I believe, the Whole Foods guy, John Mackey, brought it up that he's really been messed up from COVID. He got it bad. He's having blood clots and stuff. He's having really bad issues with COVID. So he has the torn bicep as well, but the COVID has been a big part of this. So hopefully he can recover fully, because there's been some people that they having fatigue issues, and it really would suck. Of course, if he was never the same, it would suck for sure. But hopefully that's not happening. And he says maybe by March, because that's the fight I want to watch.
Yeah.
Listen, Moreno's going to be even bigger underdog than Perez, I would assume, because of what Figueiredo just did to him. Excuse me. But if he beats Moreno, dude, that Garbrandt fight's going to be huge. It's going to be big anyway, but it's going to be even bigger. And I'm excited for it. Not going to take anything away from Moreno. He still has to fight Moreno. So who's tough? Excuse me. I keep burping. Not going to take anything away from
Perez.
Anything away from Moreno. Because
Moreno, yeah.
He has to fight him still. He still has to fight Moreno. So it's really, I think he's going to get through Moreno. I apologize if I'm wrong. And then Garbrandt, dude, man, I want to see that fight so bad. I really hope it happens in the springtime.
Me too, man. And that's the thing about Figueiredo is I see him being sort of Brazil's answer to Mighty Mouse in this division after that performance. That when he was able to kind of get himself where he was on his ass, had an arm around Perez's neck, and then to just do that lovely, it's one of my favorite moves to do in jiu-jitsu. And shout out to Brad Bukovics at Practical Self-Defense. Shout out to the King of the Mat Open. I think he's either Ultimate Champion or I forget the belt. Brad, leave a comment on what belt you have, and I will, without a doubt, make sure that you are admonished as a legend, because you are, sir. But that little knee shiver in between where the hips, right at where the hip joints are, if you can get that over the first inside leg of your opponent, it's fucking scary how easily you can get yourself into position and get into guard. And Figueiredo made it look like he's been doing it since
Yeah.
he was a fucking toddler.
Yeah.
That was disturbing, dude.
It was so slick.
Same thing with I can't remember what fight it was. But there was one gentleman that I called out. I think it was Brandon Moreno, if I'm not mistaken. I called out a twister.
Yeah, you're right.
And yeah, and it was.
I didn't see it. So you said it before I did. And as soon as you said it, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, you're right. All I have to do is throw the arm behind the head. And Joe Rogan even said it after you did. You called it before Joe Rogan did. I'll tell you that's true. I heard him say it. He called it first. But yeah, obviously he doesn't know how to do it, or he doesn't like it, or maybe he felt something. Either way, he didn't think he can get it. Because it looked like he could have tried for it, where the position he was in, but he didn't. We also didn't talk about the oil check. That was funny. That when Shogun oil check Craig, that's pretty funny.
Oil change, how rude.
Yeah,
I love Rogan.
I don't know the last time I really saw it, but it makes sense. Oh, okay. Anyway, the oil check is you put your fingers basically in the butt. You know, you basically get them right in the butt whole area. The thing you're just trying to hang on to, Craig, and the thing is that is a legitimate area you can hang on to somebody. I guess if you're trying not to get taken down. But it is very rude. And he talked to Craig about it, and Craig's like, yeah, I didn't like that. He's like, usually you take somebody out to dinner for that. So something like that before you do that to a guy. And that's true. But I also don't blame Shogun for doing it because he's trying to hang on to something. And that's what he found to hang on to. A butt cheek. That's fine. I think that's fine. Oh, what I was going to say about – go ahead.
Oh, as I was going to say is, I didn't realize Shogun had his proctology degree because he went right for it. Like, what the fuck?
Well, yeah, at first you're like, why would someone do that? But he's trying to stay up because Craig was trying to take him down. You got to grab onto something, and I didn't really think about it before. But I'm like, that's a legitimate thing to grab onto is a cheek. It really is. You're trying to grab on. You know, it's easier than grabbing on someone's back, something like a love handle or something. I never really thought about that before, and it's not illegal. You can do it, and he did it.
Yeah,
it's not like he tried to. He just shove his fingers up there. He just tried to grab the cheek right in that middle area. And yeah, it isn't great, but he has shorts and compression shorts on. He's fine.
I remember I was at Griffin Roll, and Tim Thompson, who owns King of the Mat Grappling, which is a great place if you're ever in Ohio and you're watching this. King of the Mat. They also do streaming tournaments on Facebook. Brad Bukovics actually does a lot of the commentary. I'm forgetting the other gentleman, but I have rolled with him as well. He'll kick my ass in training for not remembering. I'm totally down for it. That's the punishment that you should always do. But Tim, I'm rolling with this guy, and all of a sudden I hear Tim Thompson just yell, "Check his oil!" And I immediately knew what he wanted. And we started both me and the guy I was rolling with just started laughing our dicks off. Like we were so happy that somebody yelled it.
Yes, I've only ever done one grappling tournament, and it was at Evolve before, maybe 2012. It was before I even fought, before I even started losing weight. So I was like 250 then, which is still less than I am now. But anyway, the point is, there was a ton of oil check jokes. Like everybody just kept making oil check jokes. So I guess it's a common occurrence.
Yeah. Oh no, it's a legitimate, like, as soon as he said that and then tried to explain it, I had already kind of hoped he would explain it. That way I could just do it to the guy I was rolling with, just to like make the joke of like, I think I even like licked my fingers.
Yeah. Ugh, don't put your fingers in your mouth when you're at a gym, bro. Come on, man.
I mean, I saw them clean the mats in between classes. So
yeah, it's still a gym though, man. And the guy you're rolling with a person, right? Yeah.
That's why a lot of, in my opinion, people who roll, we don't have COVID, or we've had a definite lower level of COVID.
I want to say this, man. This is different than what you're saying. I'm moving on. Figueiredo didn't get a bonus from the UFC, and I'm like, I know he's getting more than other people. Maybe not everyone. Maybe Shogun's probably making more than him, I'm assuming. I didn't check it out, but I'd guess so. He's been around forever. But he didn't get a $50,000 bonus for a finish, and that seems strange because that great finish. And Dana White eventually said that was my bad, like a couple days later, and gave him he gave him a bonus anyway. I just saw this. He gave him I don't know what they gave him, but they gave him at least 50 grand. They gave him a bonus. I've heard things like that too, right? Sometimes they won't tell people that, like Cormier said, they gave him like a bunch of money, like $1 million. I think I don't know if it's $1 million or $500,000. They just gave it to him, and you talk about fighter pay, and every once in a while they'll. It's an incentive to be one of their guys, right? To be one of their pros, one of their company men, because every once in a while they will give you a little handout, and that isn't on the. Well, I mean, it's on the books as far as the IRS is concerned, but as far as media is concerned, they don't tell people. They do that every once in a while. That's kind of one of the things that makes them look like a more decent company, but they're still a fight company, so still a bit shady. Even though they may be one of the better ones, they probably are. They've said a bunch of times. They're better than a lot of boxing promoters, but still.
Yeah. I was about to say, I remember when fighter pay was a really big issue in mixed martial arts, and people were crying foul and doing all this kind of stuff. It to me, Dana said something that he in a press conference, I forget what pay-per-view it was, but he was like, yeah, we bonus people on holidays. We do a lot of stuff that we don't tell you guys about. Right. People don't need to know how much fighters make. It really, because there is those on the books, but low, low level fucking, that kind of shit.
Right. I mean, John Jones came out recently and said he gets about $5 million total for a fight, but you look at what they tell you is on the books, the normal fighter pay, right? Just to show money. Yeah. It's like $500,000 or something.
Yeah.
But everything else is pay-per-view money, and everything else they give him, he gets about $5 million. So it's more than that. Same with Stipe. Stipe is about $500,000 a fight too, just the normal base salary. But champions get points of pay-per-view and whatnot.
Yeah.
And they still screw a lot of guys over.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's kind of what it is at this point. I mean, we all should know the fight game's a little fucked.
It's better than it looks to some people, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I remember years ago when they had Dana White on Real Sports. Number one, HBO, Real Sports is on HBO, and HBO is a boxing company, and they really went after him. Not saying they told him to do it, because the journalists they have on Real Sports are some of the best sports journalists. I mean, if you're a great sports journalist, you'll get picked for Real Sports eventually. This is some of the best possible ever. They're amazing. They're great. I love Real Sports. But they did a story on them, and it was founded. It's not like it wasn't. It was, but but at the same time, they are a boxing company, and I'm sure if it was a boxing issue, they have. You know what? Taking it back, they have gone after boxing too. So, but I do remember.
Look at Joe Lewis.
It is better than It's better than it was.
Yeah, I was about to say it's better than when Joe Louis and even Muhammad Ali in the 70s when Don King was had his fingers inside Muhammad Ali's pie. I mean, it's MMA to me, and yeah, you get, but promoters are promoters. I mean, I've seen promoters in pro wrestling companies talk shit to guys who are on whatever the fuck in the mid card or even the first couple matches. They don't get shit a lot of the time, though. They'll sell merch and they get that, but most of the time these guys don't get fucking paid. That's how the sports is, sadly, is you kind of have to work your way up to get that pay. You have to do things like Joaquin Buckley did to get his fight bonuses. You look at Figueiredo, Dana, even like you just said, he admitted he was wrong. He admitted that, and I think honestly, MMA is that one sport right now where there's dirtiness, but there's also sort of that, hey, I was wrong mentality. It's like two dudes at a bar and then they get into a fight and one guy goes, oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was a dick. That was my fault. People care too much about how fighters get paid, and I think it comes from a fan perspective that doesn't need to be there.
Well,
okay. Some fighters they put out numbers for certain people, and you'll get people saying, "Oh, this guy should have made 400,000 instead of 50. It's like he just debuted. Calm your tits, dude.
If a fan says that, an average Joe fan,
But I'm even talking like
if a fighter isn't making
media.
enough money, okay, well, like I say, the media, that's kind of their job, but it's just a fan says that. They're probably right, because usually fans think that all athletes get paid too much. I hear all the time from people, athletes get paid too much. And I say to people, I'm like, I remember talking about this with my grandparents about, I don't know, maybe baseball, or I don't know. They get paid too much. I'm like, what do you mean too much? I mean, compared to what they make for the people they work for, they don't. It's probably comparable to what they actually should make, right? Which is actually UFC, like we said with Andrew, even Conor McGregor makes less from the UFC than he actually is.
Oh yeah.
So what are you gonna say? But a lot of people say, "Oh, the athletes shouldn't make that much." I'm like, yeah, but you're seeing what they're doing for the company, right? But yes, you working your ass off. You should probably be making more money doing what you're doing. Yes, no, and I think a lot of times when people say athletes make too much, they're really saying I'm not making enough for what I'm doing. That's not every case, obviously.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are saying that. They usually were right. Of course, a lot of people are underpaid in this country.
I see. I look at it though, like boxing. The thing about boxing is they have enough and I have a conspiracy theory about boxing. I think honestly, all the alphabet leagues, they all work with each other and share from that same pot, like the mob does. And the thing is, boxing, because it's been
at one point that was probably true, yeah, and maybe
even now,
maybe.
Even now, look at the modern day equivalent to getting a mafia fuck over in boxing was the first time Tyson Fury beat Vladimir Klitschko. The IBF stripped Tyson Fury of his world title like a week after he had won it. They stripped the belt of him, and I think they gave it to Anthony Joshua, if I'm not mistaken. That was his first title. And it's just you see there's what I love about UFC is, and I love the MMA model more than I do boxing, because boxing or MMA, it's harder for you to get fucked over as a champion than it is because it's the organization's belt. If you look at boxing with the alphabet belts, the Mayan heritage belts, all these fucking belts that it's like pro wrestling right now. There's too many fucking world champions.
The Bro Plata heavyweight championship. If you don't have that, then currently I have it. I haven't currently. I have it currently because I've claimed it. I'm the champion. So you have to beat me to get it. So there you go. If you want that.
Well, then how about next time King of the Mat happens? That's how we discuss. That's how we make sure that we have a match against each other for the Bro Heavyweight Championship. 205 and above.
We should have done this when I was in better shape. I'm in terrible shape now. I guarantee you beat me because I run out of steam so quickly.
Well, that would be the fun. Do you think I'm in some kind of form?
No, but the thing is, I don't want you to beat me, so I'd have to at least get better shape. If you beat me, I want it because you're better at it than me, not just because you're not as in terrible shape as I am.
Oh, I guarantee you, I'm probably in worse shape than you.
However, that is part of it. No, I highly doubt it. That is part of it.
How long did you ever smoke cigarettes?
No, but I eat a lot of fast food and I don't do much walking.
I guarantee you got at least another year on me of longevity than fucking.
Well, that's possibly true. I mean, that's the one thing I've stayed away from, right? A lot of my family smokes cigarettes, and I'm the one person that I gave it a little bit of a shot, but never was. I smoked maybe a handful of my lifetime, probably less than a dozen in my life. So
yeah, I was a pack and a half, sometimes.
Just so you don't smoke now, yeah.
No, yeah, I quit after I possibly got the dark disease. That is COVID, because I that's how I quit smoking ish. I still use the vape pens and all that kind of stuff.
I just had my MRI the other day.
How'd that go?
I haven't heard anything. That's probably fine. I hope, like I would, right? No, it was fine. I knew I mentioned my buddy Garen Smith. His mother did my MRI. So I knew her. And she. I guess now they give you headphones, right? And they play music. What kind of music do you like? Oh my God, I don't care. But she played some 90s stuff. The first song I heard when I was in the MRI machine was Runaway Train by Soul Asylum. So I'm here we go. I'm good with this. Because dude, like most people, I don't like small spaces. And with a mask on, I had to pull the mask down over my nose because I have a thick cloth mask.
Oh,
can't really breathe through it very well. And then that little space, I'm like, I had to pull it under my nose. Because if not, dude, I'm going to freak out in here and make you pull me out. Because they give you a little like ball that you push and they pull you out if you need to be pulled out. And I thought it might happen because I do get anxiety. But I was good. Soul Asylum helped me out. I forget what else they played.
Runaway train, never come back.
Yeah, that was the one.
That's
a great tune.
Well,
we have one more thing to talk about. Oh shit.
One more.
I just found out that Rachel Ostovich is fighting this weekend. We'll talk about that. I know nothing about Rachel Ostovich as a fighter, except she doesn't have a very good record. And if she doesn't win, she may be cut. But I know she is.
That name sounds very familiar to me. Why do I know that name?
Look her up.
Oh, she's Smoke Show.
Yeah.
I'm looking at her right now.
She may be the smoke show of all smoke shows. I can't get this story.
You know what? We'll end on this. Sure. We'll end on her looks.
We have one more thing to talk about.
One more thing.
We can talk about it later, I guess. We're going to talk about that card with Edwards and Chimaev.
Yes. Yeah. Let me bring that up, and because I can go right to that via my handy dandy computer. I'm excited for this.
On Saturday the 19th. It's a week before Christmas, friends. And okay, Leon Edwards and Khamzat Chimaev. All right, that's a interesting fight. I really hope Edwards beats this guy up. But besides that, dude,
you don't like Khamzat?
I don't like how they're pushing him so hard so fast.
Really?
I think it's strange. I think they're giving him 3 steps up in competition, at least 1 or 2 steps up. I think he should be fighting a guy in the top 15, not fucking top 3 Leon Edwards. But if he beats Leon Edwards, then I'll shut up. That's fine. But I don't. Dude, I really hope Leon Edwards kind of shuts him up. But he'll be fine after that. It's not gonna hurt the kid at all. They get beat up. If he gets knocked out right away by Leon Edwards, he's fine. He's not gonna get hurt at all. But Stephen Thompson, Jeff Neal is on this. I'll let you know the pick like when we do the episode before it because I don't know yet. I have a guess, but I don't know. I may change my mind. It's gonna be a great fight, dude. I really wish this was a 5-round fight. I'm actually bummed out that it's only a 3-round fight. Jeff Neal's a monster. Stephen Thompson, I love. This is one of those fights that I can't really root against. For or against anyone because I love them both. I want them both to win.
Jeff Neal's a savage, and then obviously you got the tenacious one in Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I don't even know who I can pick for that. I'm gonna have to watch some tape.
I'm not ready yet.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
Then we got Tabura and Hardy. That should be fun.
Speaking of,
Bray Hardy. If he beats him, dude, hats off, dude. You're a monster. Tabura's tough, and he's a ground dude. So have fun with that, man.
You see my pick. My pick's right there. It's the Polish all day.
You're American, Ray.
I'm part Polish, though.
Marias and Rob Font. That should be good, dude. Good. I like Rob Font. I do. Marias is a real tough dude. This is gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, dude. And then you got isn't that the one that Jose Aldo's on as well?
Yeah, Chernoff and Spawn are on that too, and at light heavyweight, dude. Anytime Ryan Spawn fights, man, it's exciting. But they moved. This was supposed to be on the card last weekend on the pay-per-view, but now it's going to be on the bottom of the main card right now. However, there's 6 great fights on this card. I would be surprised if all 6 happen, obviously, because COVID was happening, the track record recently. However, Aldo Vera, dude, that's such a good fight, man. We were going to have to pay for it. Now we're getting it for free, hopefully. Dude, oh, man, I love Chito Vera. And Jose Aldo, although he's lost his last 2 fights, he's still obviously very competitive. He's been very competitive in both of them. He can still fight, obviously. Yeah, there's a prelim fight on here. Oh, yeah, it was Pereira and Chaos Williams. That's a really
Yes.
exciting one. Diego.
That's
Luna.
gonna be. We've talked about it as well. Like I am a fan of Chaos Williams. I think he is one of those guys that is very special. He's like a Joaquin Buckley, very deceivingly powerful until you get it in the octagon with him, and all of a sudden your body may be in the UFC apex, but when Chaos Williams hits you, you're on Fremont Street, your head rolling past the guy spray painting art in the street, going, "What the fuck just happened?"
If Buckley, who isn't a very big middleweight, can move the welterweight, dude, I would love to see him fight Chaos Williams. Win or lose this next fight with Pierre. Yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly. That's my thought. Yeah. Who's gonna die in that fight?
Stop giving me things I want, Danko.
Right?
Stop giving me things I want.
I just now put it together because Buckley thought maybe he'll move down to fight Cross if Cross doesn't come up because he's not a big middleweight. He doesn't cut for middleweight. Maybe a welterweight eventually. Dude, Buckley at welterweight against Chaos Williams. Somebody got to die. Well, that's the same thing when Buckley fought Holland, and Holland ended up finishing him. But, dude, it's another one, man. And still, that's one of my favorite fights of the year. I'm not going to say it's the best fight of the year because it was a finish. But it was definitely one of my favorite fights of the year for sure. I love that fight.
Which one was that again?
A bunch. Buckley Holland.
Oh,
it was so good.
That was a war.
So fun.
Straight
That was
up
the first
war.
time we saw Buckley.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised at all. Okay, maybe surprised that he had that knockout he had in the second fight, but not surprised that he's a monster and he's been knocking people out. Not surprised about that.
Yeah, I also love the fact that Diego Lima and Bilal, remember the name, are going to be on this fight, fighting each other in the prelims.
This card's so good.
I love the name D-Ron Win. That's always a fun name. Sounds like one of a Key and Peele sketch. D-Ron, it's D-Ron.
That Key and Peele sketch with the college football all-star game is hilarious. That is such a funny sketch. We're just making fun of names.
It's one of the greatest sketches ever.
It is great. I mean, I think maybe two of those sketches are really, I'd say maybe are about as good as stuff you see on the Chappelle Show. Maybe two of those. Chappelle Show's good stuff.
Yeah.
That one's one. It's so funny to me. And also with names. The substitute teacher thing. A.A.
Jake Quellen.
Yeah. A.A. Ron. For Shackle. Or whatever. Timothy.
Don't make me come over there, A.A. Ron.
Timothy. Present. Yeah, that's me. Timothy. Those are both really funny. And when he did the
Timothy,
Luther, the anger interpreter for Barack Obama, and the fact that he did it at the correspondence. See, that's what a president's supposed to do. Be able to make fun of himself. Trump never went to a correspondence dinner. Fine, whatever. You know who will go? Joe Biden.
Nah, I don't. Well, he'll be in the basement, so I don't know.
Dude, you want to make a bet right now? If you had money, I bet you.
I don't care.
Basically, what I'm saying right now. You know why you say you don't care? Because you know I'm right. No, I'm right. Again, I'm right and you're wrong again. So this is what he's gonna go. He's gonna go. I promise you, he'll go.
I have a theory. We'll talk about it off air because honestly, I don't like to talk politics on podcasts.
It's almost
outside of
comedy. He's going to go to the correspondence dinner. He's going to have jokes told about him, and he's going to tell jokes. He's going to do it.
I see Jim Carrey showing up because of the SNL thing.
That's fun. That's funny. When Keegan-Michael Key showed up, play Luther, it was great. It was hilarious. It's probably the funniest thing that's ever happened at one of those.
No. The greatest and funniest thing that's ever happened at a correspondence dinner, and we'll end on this because I do like talking about this, is Michelle Wolf.
Oh, it was super funny, but the thing is, it pissed so many people. That's kind of why it was so funny.
That's why it's funny.
Yeah. Not only that, like
an entire party off.
Like they put her jokes on a prompter for her. Like they got cleared.
Yeah,
all those jokes got cleared.
Yeah,
that's the funniest thing about it is like, dude, you know, there's multiple people that solve these jokes because they put it on her prompter for her.
Yeah,
so there's multiple people that cleared these jokes. So to give her shit, number one, you shouldn't give her shit. Period. But
no,
I thought she was great. No, you're right. That was amazing. But as
Michelle-
far as something
Michelle
that everyone laughed at, the Obama thing. But I love Michelle Wolf, dude. I think
the
I love Michelle Wolf.
balls to do what she did, and look at Sarah Suckaby Sanders, that fucking bitch, and just look at her and be like, "You're a cold bitch." Like,
You know who?
balls.
Joe
I love her.
McCormick. Joe McCormick.
Oh, I love Joe McCormick.
Yeah, I love Joe McCormick too. He always used to post a bunch of Facebook stuff about him being in love with her, and it was super funny. Sarah Huckabee Sanders. It was
I miss
super funny.
Joe.
Yeah, I haven't seen Joe in a minute too, man. I haven't seen him since he did a show down here.
Yeah, I did.
It's fun.
I did a show in Mount Vernon with him. Like, this is like 3 years ago, and it's the last time I ever saw him.
Yeah, he's one of those people
opening up for Mike Meadows.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's just a genuine dude. He's just him. He's just Joe McCormick is just Joe McCormick, and that's one of the reasons he's great. It's gonna break a record. It's gonna break a record, Ray. I didn't, honestly, I thought we were gonna go for 40 minutes, and every time I think that we go to here, it is 3 hours.
Yes.
No one's gonna watch it. It's fine.
Yeah, not the full thing, but hopefully they click through and we have some fun with it. It's been a fun 3 hours. I appreciate everybody that popped in. Our one listener in the Republic of Chad, we appreciate you being here on Twitch. I think we got some Bolivian peasants that are talking about listening to us, but I'm not sure what's going on with that. Okay. Maybe a Peruvian model, maybe who wants me to Venmo her $100. I saw that comment.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, it's a great time to be alive in MMA. We're reaching the tail end. Thank Jesus. For 2020,
it's gonna it's gonna bleed over into 2021.
We can only hope it doesn't. I can only hope it starts off with a bang.
Well, we know as far as COVID goes,
minus nuclear apocalypse. I don't want that kind of bang.
What do you think, man? I was gonna say, what do you think is gonna happen for the Super Bowl? But Florida already doesn't give a fuck, so they're probably gonna have a full crowd for the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
because that's in Tampa Bay this year, so I believe so.
And I think the
Browns will be there. The Browns will be there. So, dude, the Browns are there. I'm gonna listen, Ray. Listen. Stop laughing. All right, I'm gonna make you a promise right here. If the Browns make it to the Super, which I don't believe they will either, but I'm gonna make this crazy promise. If they get there, listen, they're probably gonna make the playoffs, and anything could happen there, Ray. Anything could happen. Okay,
I'm not denying they couldn't. They can.
That year the Giants won when they beat the undefeated Patriots. They weren't that good. They just happened to have a couple good games. They weren't that good. Right? It can happen once you get there. It's NFL. They're all good enough to be in the NFL. Anything can happen. Anyway, Ray, if they make it to the Super Bowl, I will pay for both of us to go to Tampa Bay. All right, not to the Super Bowl, but we'll go and hang out in Tampa Bay.
Well, I was about to say, I have a close family friend that lives in Tampa Bay. So all we have to do, I just fucking say, hey, we're coming for a week. We don't have to pay for a hotel. Pay my fucking way down there. I'll go with you. Let's do it.
Also, like Cleveland to Tampa flights, because they happen multiple times a day. They're actually pretty cheap. Like before COVID hit, I looked because I was thinking about going down to the Indians Rays game, and they're less than $100 round trip. It's actually crazy.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's fucking cheap. It might be a little, I don't know what it is now, but it
might be like
it was like $80 round trip. I'm like, oh fuck. I mean, it's Spirit, but it's $80 round
prices now.
Yeah, I don't know. But no, I promise I would. If the Browns make the Super Bowl, we're going to Tampa Bay and we're gonna hang out. We're not going to go to the Super Bowl. We'll go to the parking lot and hang out. And
I'd go to Raymond James.
Yeah, well, hang out.
And I think also
because I didn't say get tickets, because I can't do that, right? But I just say, well, fucking go. We're going.
I think they're going to have. Last year they were supposed to have WrestleMania in Tampa Bay, but because of COVID they couldn't. I think this year they're actually because California is being so stringent. It was supposed to be Hollywood next year. Or in 2021, but I think they're going to go back to Raymond James Stadium for WrestleMania. I think it's like 36 now, 37.
That's cool. I think they're having full crowds at the stadiums there in Florida.
Florida in general, yeah. AEW has had crowds.
Now, for the first time in a very long time, both the Buccaneers and the Dolphins are pretty good. Dolphins very well may make the playoffs. They're in the hunt with the Browns are. So yeah, and Tampa Bay has Gronk and Tom Brady. So yeah.
I was so glad that they had that bad game a couple weeks ago. So glad.
Oh, I don't hate him. I don't hate him.
I hate Tom Brady. I despise that
I
man.
think, you know what, man? I think he worked. You know what? It's easy to, anyone that's successful, it's easy to hate him, especially if they went to Michigan. But he works so hard, it's kind of hard to hate him. And he's not a bad guy. He's a good guy. He works hard. It's kind of hard to hate him.
And
I mean, you can hate him for winning, but like him to go somewhere else.
And his treatment the NFL gives him, in my opinion. I think the NFL is way too lenient lenient on the calls on Tom Brady than anything else. But that's just me.
That's very possible. They also gave him a big suspension, right?
I used to have a joke that I wanted to use in my act about Tom Brady where I talked about the Tom Brady rules. One of them is if you sniff in Tom Brady's general direction, automatic first down.
He's a different guy, and the rules are different for him. That's true.
You stare at Gisele Bundchen, that is an automatic forfeit of the game. We cannot have you looking at Gisele.
It's true.
You can't. But she is hot, so that's always a good thing.
So win and get you, man.
Timmy Danko, another episode in the books. We are men now. We are men.
All right, I gotta pee, buddy.
All right, buddy. We'll talk to you later. Thank you guys for watching Bro Plata. Audio version available wherever you stream your podcasts. Go listen, share it out with your friends. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. Tim has gone to the bathroom. Have a good night, everybody.